who are a Blues fan. We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union, your St. Louis.
Your Blue Note fan report. I think I shared out the wrong show today, so no one knows about the show. I got to try and do it real quick. Welcome to the Blue Note fan report. This is the last show, the last Blues game for almost 2 weeks. We won't play again until a week from Saturday, a week from the All-Star game. We're in Winnipeg. We're on a 4-game losing streak, but we're going to start off today with some very, very sad stuff. I'll get into it in just a sec. I want to try and get into give me just a moment. I really do want to try and get into sorry, I want to try and do an invite. I don't think I can now. It might be too late. Yeah, I think it is. But I know there's a way to do it. I'll just kind of figure it out later. So as we get people coming in, Brad Pond says tonight's game is mostly important, has a window for our team to judge the value of the trade bait. That said, I would be said if we trade Barbashev, I think he is undervalued. Brad, you might be the only one. I don't think he's undervalued, but let's get into the sad news, and I'll bring in my buddy Nick. Today, Monday, the 30th of January, early in the morning, Coast to Coast Hockey, a little bitty Facebook group, actually broke this news before anybody else, but legendary Hall of Famer and Chicago Blackhawk Bobby Hull passes away at the age of 84. As many of you know, Bobby is also Brett Hull's father. I think they're the only father and son in the Hall of Fame. They're the only father and son that scored 50 goals in 50 games. They're the only ones that have done it twice. I think they did it. I think they both did it twice.
50 goals, you said?
Yeah, 50 goals in 50 games.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I know Brett did it twice. I'm sure Bobby did it once, but he may have done it twice.
Actually, for instance, there is another set of father-son duo that's in the Hall of Fame. Mark and Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe and who?
Mark Howe.
Mark Howe. Mark was is he in as a player or?
As a player.
Okay, that's Gordie's son?
Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know Gordie's son. I thought Gordie's sons were just barely players.
No, Mark Howell was, I believe, inducted in 2011, if I remember correctly.
But wasn't he inducted as a founder, not as a player?
As a player.
Okay.
He was inducted into the Hall of Fame with Eddie Belfour, Joe Newendike, and Doug Gilmour with Mark Howell as a player into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, fair enough. You got me there. What are you expecting from tonight, Guy? We'll get to that. Chris Shockey's here. Hey, guys, I didn't get a chance to share out the show, or at least I shared it out in the wrong way. So if you can, if you want to share the show out, please go ahead and do that. Yeah, I completely screwed this up tonight. I shared the wrong show out to everybody. Dum give me gum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Wendy, I know you and me talked a little bit about this. I know you have some strong feelings for Bobby. You know, negative because he was a controversial figure. But I'm going to let you talk about Bobby and what he meant to Chicago and even some of the controversy that surrounded him. I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Well, the thing is, I try and separate the two, but I try to also recognize, yeah, Bobby was not a good person off ice, but on ice, he meant so much to the city of Chicago. Hell, even the city of Winnipeg. He played a good portion of his professional career with the Winnipeg Jets during the WHA, but he's known for being a Chicago Blackhawk. His statue is up front of the United Center alongside his teammate and Stan Mikita. His numbers hanging on the rafters of the United Center for the accomplishments he did on the ice, where he had 604 goals with the Chicago Blackhawks, a total of 610 in his NHL career. Because when he left the Blackhawks for the Winnipeg Jets in the WHA, he became the first $1 million athlete in hockey history. And then he came back into the NHL. Hawks had retained his rights to come back, but traded him to the Hartford Whalers. But he meant so much to the Blackhawks fans because the guy would sign anything that you gave him to. A lot of people say Bobby Hall would have died with a pen in his hand because he was known for signing autographs anytime he had the opportunity. He gave so many people autographs throughout his life and throughout his time as a player and as his time as an ambassador of the Blackhawks. They did let him go as an ambassador last year after all the controversies with the organization during the time. They let him go as well, but he will always be recognized as one of the greatest Blackhawks of all time. Honestly, at this point in time, I would say he's in the top 5 because there are players, in my opinion, has passed Bobby Hall for on-ice achievements.
In Blackhawk history?
Yes.
That's going to be... See, I'm guessing you're putting Kane, Taves, and Belfour above him.
I don't even have Belfour in the top 5.
Okay. Well, I know you have Kane and Taves.
I have Kane and Taves. Stan Mikita is number 1.
Okay.
I even have Chris Chelios over Bobby Hall.
Oh, see, I knew Chelios. I think the great thing about Chelly was Chelly's chili.
If you look at what Chelly did with the Blackhawks being a Chicago native and everything,
yeah.
He meant so much, and now he's back as an ambassador for the Blackhawks. I think Chelly being the Chicago native kind of helps his accolades.
Okay, that's fair. Well, my hearts and my condolences go out to the Blackhawks and to the whole family. No matter what it is, when you lose a patriarch like that, you're losing somebody very, very special. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There were some guys out there that were very much assholes, but when they pass, they still take something with them. And that's what I'm saying with Hull. Ashley, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Are you excited about tonight? Or are you as blah as I am?
I'm pretty blah.
All right.
But, maybe they'll surprise us. Who knows?
Actually, no, I think Bobby did do the 50 and 50 once. Didn't he?
Bobby Hall became the first player to surpass 50 goals in a season. I know that.
Yeah. He's saying Bobby scored 50 and 52. Only 4 players have done it in 50 or less. I actually think that's wrong. In fact, I know that's wrong. I'm almost dead certain that's wrong. And there's different ones out there that look at the 50 and 50. Right? Chris Shockey says I'm drinking to handle this game. Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. I got my statistician Wendy going to look it up for me. Ashley, what is as we hit this break, and this is a huge break, what do you think you need to see from the Blues tonight to make you feel like they're going to do something good after this break?
I need to see them come out and actually play a hockey game, not wait 40 minutes in before they finally decide that they're going to do something. They need to actually go out there and act like they want to win.
I could see that. Nick, what do you got for me?
Bobby Hall did not do 50-50 with the Blackhawks, but he did do it in the WHA with the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay, so that's and that probably that may not be counted. Well, the NHL doesn't count the WHA.
Yeah, they don't.
It's time for them to throw that away and count them. The majority of the guys that were in the WHA were NHLers anyway. So, and I'd say 90% of the guys that were in the WHA were NHLers or ended up in the NHL to begin with. So, let's stop that. Now, this is a good one. I thought about this today. Bo Horvat was traded today from Winnipeg to the Islanders.
From Vancouver to the Islanders.
From Vancouver to who did I say?
Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg. Sorry. From Vancouver, from the Canucks to the Islanders. And to me, now this takes the Islanders out of the Tarasenko sweepstakes, unless they're willing to put Horvat on the trading block for Tarasenko.
They won't.
No.
What they gave up for Bo Horvat, he's their guy. They gave up, the Islanders gave up Anthony Beauvillier, a good prospect in Artur Raty, and a first-round pick that is lottery protected for this year. But at this point, I can still say the Islanders likely make the playoffs.
Yeah. So, I think it just takes a trading partner away, right?
I agree
to me,
with
this is more evidence that Vladdy's not getting traded.
I wouldn't say that. That takes one trading partner away. I think that there are at least 3 other teams that are still in talks.
But for me, there's teams in talks, but I don't think it's teams that they're going to go to. Right? There's like I've heard that Edmonton's in talks. He's not waving he's not going to Edmonton. Right? He's going somewhere where he's going to do a sign. He's going to stay. Where he goes, he's going to stay. He's going to get the free agent stuff out of the way. He's going to go and stay. And I don't see Calgary being a team he goes and stays. I don't see Edmonton being a team he goes and stays. I don't see Anaheim, though Anaheim is a area that he probably wants to live in, has a team that he's going to go to. So really, to me, this comes down to the LA Kings, the New York Rangers, and the New Jersey Devils, and none of those teams have any cap space.
The Devils,
and they're going to who?
Yeah, they do.
The Devils?
Yeah.
I don't think they have $7.5 million worth of cap space.
You guys are going to have to retain no matter what. I'm sorry.
You see, that's the thing. That's not happening.
That will happen because that's
Doug
how
Armstrong
players
does not retain salary.
I don't care what you're saying about that, but he's going to have to retain salary no matter what. Any team who's getting a player that much.
Here's the thing: Doug Armstrong is from a period of the Devils. Where are the Devils? New Jersey Devils have $2 million of cap space, and it's an LTIR. They're zeroed out. The Blues actually have better place than actually. No, they don't. The Blues only have 114,000 in LTIR. So
I just
New
know
Jersey
there's
doesn't
going
have
to be
the cap
teams
space.
that weaponize.
Say again?
I'm going to just say this. St. Louis is going to have to retain salary cap. And they might even have to get a second team involved.
It's not going to happen. Doug Armstrong has been a GM for what, 10 years now, 11 years? And he has retained how much salary? 0.
He's now in a new era of GMs. There's more younger GMs than him. He's going to have to learn that if he wants to make a deal, he's going to have to.
Okay,
retain.
there's
You
the
see
point.
the problem.
Wants to make a deal.
The problem is that in St. Louis, both our GM and our coach don't like to change. They're set in their ways. They're going to stick with what they do. So he will hold on to Tarasenko and let him walk for nothing before he trades him and retains salary.
Yep, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
So
I agree. I think that's the. And here's the other thing at this. And me and Lance got in a. If you didn't watch last night's show, you missed a hell of one. Me and Lance got in a really good argument about this. Lance kept saying, "Well, since he put that out there, he can't withdraw it. Because if he does, he's going to be hated throughout the league if they go and make a deal and he says, no, I decided I changed my mind. I don't care. He still has that option. He has to approve any trade. It's not like he can go, okay, I'll be traded to these 5 teams. If the trade comes through, he's automatically gone. They have to come to him once the trade is made, once the trade is agreed on between the 2 teams. They have to go to Tarasenko and not his agent. They have to go to Tarasenko directly to the player, not a player representative, and say, we have made this trade with this team. Will you accept it? That's even after he puts in a list. He still has to accept it. He may. You look right now at the Islanders. The Islanders are really close. The Islanders could fall out of the playoff spots really quick. So that's the thing. The Kings, the Devils, and the Rangers are playoff teams, so maybe that goes. But if one of those teams starts to slip by the trade deadline, I could see him, and that team comes in. That's not what this guy's doing. He's, I really do think that that he holds all the cards. He has the right to veto any trade. Period. End of story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he can put a list and says trade me to anybody.
Time out. Beating a dead horse. Now let's move on to something that actually might happen. I heard that the Blues are in talks with the Kraken for O'Reilly.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one. What would we get? What would they give up?
It'd probably be a lot of picks, but they have the space.
I was just looking. I don't think they have that much space.
They have the space for O'Reilly.
No, they don't. They have 2.7 million. They have 2.7 million of cap space. They'd have to be, dollar in, dollar out. They'd still have to come up with $5 million.
They also are paying 2 goalies that basically are going to one's going to get traded at the deadline to open up the cap space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Drieger is likely gone.
Who?
Chris Drieger.
Okay. Let's look at their goalies here real quick. So they got Grubauer at 5.9 and Jones at 2 million. Krieger is on the injured reserve list right now. Drieger is on the injured reserve list right now at 3.5 million, and he was acquired through the expansion draft. I can't see them trading him while he's on the injured reserve list.
I could see them trade him to a team that has the salary cap, i.e. like Chicago, for instance, just because we have the teams that will make a trade with that will open up salary cap, like dead cap.
But it doesn't. It does because he's on IR, not LTIR.
There's going to be teams that will take on the dead cap hit and do it that way, because I could see a team like Chicago weaponize their salary cap space at the deadline while making trades on their team.
Well, they don't have anybody in LTIR right now.
Yeah, the Hawks don't. And they have players.
I'm talking Seattle. I'm looking at Seattle. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't mind for the stretch run. You throw Grubauer for O'Reilly and 2 picks.
I don't think they'll trade Grubauer.
Though I would like that deal. No.
He's got 5. He's got a lot of time on there, right? But he's 31. So you're taking him to age 32, 33, 34, 35 as a goalie. That's ancient for a goalie. If they could, if the Blues thought that they could make the playoffs with a strong 1-2 goaltending, that I do believe Greiss is in play. I do believe Greiss is in play, and I've also heard Akari's in play.
I hope not.
Edmonton.
I like him.
Edmonton's interested in Akari, right? So there's a lot of things. I don't like Mikkola being named in trade rumors. I don't either. I think that's a mistake. That's the one.
I don't.
Rosen's talking about coming over from Sweden. That doesn't. Players coming over from Sweden don't help us. So Shaggy says the Blues possibly have the biggest trade option for teams now. Being what, Shaggy? What do you mean by that, bud? Robert says the Blues are trading Berube. Please, for any head coach, I'll take an assistant. We'll take 2 assistants. You can have Berube for 2 assistants.
I mean, honestly, I'd be happy to replace Berube with Bruce. Boudreaux. The one that was just fired. Yep.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Bruce Affleck.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, I would love that, but I don't know that he would love that.
No, Bruce Affleck is not a coach. I think he's very happy being the president of the Alumni Association.
I'm very happy with him being the president of the alumni. So,
I'm sure you are. I'm guessing that my friendship with him doesn't help that. It doesn't hurt that.
Oh, not at all.
You know what, Shaggy? Let's save it for the post game, buddy. Let's save that for the post game.
Or one of the intermissions.
Say again?
Or intermission.
Let's save the trade talk for the. I don't want to do the trade talk during the intermissions. I want to focus on the game.
We'll see how the game
Ruby
goes.
for FC. Say again?
I just noticed with Horvat traded, is he going to be on the All-Star team now?
Oh, I don't know. See, I think if I'm the NHL, I let him play on the Pacific. You wearing an NHL jersey, like they did a few.
I don't think that would work.
Like they did a few years ago with John Scott.
At that year, they all had the jerseys with the NHL shield on the front. This year, it says Western and Eastern Conference.
No, you let him play with the West, but instead of the team, you put the NHL shield. That's what they did. That's what they did with, like, they didn't announce a team for John Scott.
I know.
They announced that he was an NHL player. So
You can remove Thomas from that list. He's not an option. He's the future of this team.
yeah, Thomas. Yeah, there's no way Thomas is going to get traded. None. Absolutely none. Thomas and Kyrou are off the table. They are not getting traded. You don't spend $16 million on those 2 players and then trade one of them.
Well, you might,
Right?
in case it would entice them. I could see them trading Kyrou still.
I don't.
I want to see them trade
Hell,
Kyrou.
he's been the best player. He's been the best player on the team, basically.
Not whenever his plus minus is as bad as it is. He's causing more goals than he's putting in.
Well, there's a lot of players causing more goals than they're putting in.
Not as much as Kyrou.
Right? O'Reilly's plus minus is like minus 29. You know, his plus minus is down around Death Valley. Yeah, I just don't think I think that you don't sign those 2 guys to those big deals, 8-year deals, 8-year, $8 million deals, and then trade them. I think that made them off limits. Right? He's a point per game player. Well, it's great when you can, if you're giving up, you're scoring a point per game, but when the other team's scoring 4 goals and you're only scoring 1, yeah, defense matters.
Mm-hmm.
Defense matters. Bennington has played. We got the 2 goaltenders tonight that have played the most games in the league. Hullebuck at 39 and Bennington at 38. See, I think this is an issue. I thought Greiss should have got more games. Now, Greiss has been the 4-goal man, but the 4-goal man is because there's been no defense in front of him. When there's been
no
defense in front of him, he's
Bennington
played well.
either. There's just no defense.
Yeah. So, I can see Greiss, Akari, and Levo being traded since they're all on 1-year deals. Right? And they're not big deals, so they're easy to get rid of and get something in return or package them for something bigger.
Mhm.
right? That's what I see. I'll
It
tell you
all
somebody that I
depends.
think could be on the trade block that nobody's talking about. And I know as soon as I say this, I'm gonna get shit thrown at me from the computer. I think Neighbors could be on the trade block.
It's a possibility.
I think Neighbors could be on the trade block. I don't think Neighbors is going to fit in. I like Neighbors, but I think Neighbors is like, to me, starting to feel a little bit like Tage Thompson. Great player, but doesn't fit in with what the Blues want from him. Right?
I can totally see that, but I think that you're not considering the fact that we're naming all these players that could be traded, but it's all going to depend on if Army wants to be a buyer or a seller type of thing. If we're going to sell off, we're giving up on the playoffs. We're not trying. If we're going to buy, we're trying to get into the playoffs. So it'll depend. If we're trying to make it, I don't see us getting rid of Akari. If we're getting rid of, him, though, we're just admitting we're not making it.
This
Yeah.
will be the most interesting trade deadline in recent years, just because there's already confirmed multiple, like 5 teams are already sellers: Chicago, Vancouver, Arizona, San Jose, and potentially St. Louis and Philadelphia.
I don't see. I disagree with that. Now, look, I know that the position looks bad, but there's still. I don't know.
That's why
I don't think
potentially.
I know potential. I just don't think that selling right now is. You've got the whole month of February or 3 weeks of February, to because the trade deadline's March 3rd. You've got 3 weeks of February to get yourself to that point of can we make the playoffs? Now, the one difference between this and 19 is in 19 we had games in hand. We don't have those games in hand this year. Other teams do. So that is a concern. That is a big concern. However, this team has too much talent to just let talent walk. And that's my issue with selling. That's my issue with selling. And again, everybody is, and I heard it today, Tarasenko can't take a pass and he can't pass. He's actually one of the best passers on the team. Kyrou can't take a pass and Kyrou can't pass, but oh my God, Kairou's great. Tarasenko is by far one of the best passers on the team, and we all know that. Right? That's his game is so underrated. It's not even funny. And yes, Guy has a love affair with Tarasenko, and you can say this is all Guy's love affair with Tarasenko, but you know what? Back it up. You don't become a bad passer and not be able to take a pass and score 82 games or 82 goals in 80 games or have 82 points in 80 games. Right? Okay. Did you get where I'm coming from there?
Yeah.
Right? So you would rather get nothing for guys who are going to let walk just for a minuscule chance of getting... First of all, here's the thing. When was the last... And I brought this up, Darkness. You keep forgetting who our GM is. Who was the last player he traded in a contract year? Again, here's the problem with that. It's Tarasenko's choice. Everybody wants to trade Tarasenko. Everybody thinks that trade request was a full-on trade request, and it wasn't. It's on him, and this guy is not playing like he wants to. You know what? Yes, we have. It doesn't matter. As a buyer, you can trade that big piece to bring somebody in. You can use that piece to bring somebody in that helps you. I'm sorry. Darkness, you're barking up the wrong tree here. Again, that's limited on your options, and those teams don't have the money to do it or the talent to put this way. We don't know that yet. We don't know that. I'll tell you what. there's one move you can make, and I guarantee you Tarasenko signs tomorrow. Okay, that's fair, Darkness. Right? You know what? Windy, there's one move the Blues can make right now, and I guarantee you Tarasenko signs tomorrow.
And what is it?
Right here.
I don't even think the Rangers won him. That's the thing.
They've made calls.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've inquired. That's all they've done. They've inquired. Right? No, that's it. You fire Berube right now, and I guarantee you this team changes. This team, you let Ott coach for the rest of the season. You see the changes in this team, and Tarasenko likes where it goes, and he signs. There have been, guys, I talked about this yesterday and a couple days ago. The signs that there is issues with Berube have been there for a long time, and we've all missed them. We've let that cup win cover up all those signs. Right? Pietrangelo was a sign. The bubble was a sign. The stuff with Bennington was a sign. There have been sign after sign after sign that there are issues in that locker room with Berube, and everybody's just blacked it out. Oh, he won the cup. He won the cup. He won the cup. He won the cup. I don't see the issues. I don't see the problems. He won the cup. He won the cup. I don't care, Pietrangelo. That's Army. That's on Army. That's not Berube. He didn't leave because of Berube. Tarasenko wanted traded. That's not because of Berube. That's because Tarasenko's a dickhead. Does that make a little bit of sense? I'm waiting to see what Wendy said. Right? Yeah, I agree, Chris. I think you're right. Oh, Matt Lowe. Well, game is almost on. What are your opinions for tonight's game, Wendy?
I expect the Jets to do what they've been doing a lot of this season by coming out, getting early goals, and I expect it to maybe be a 2-0 game after one.
Well, I seen something today. Vancouver God, I can't talk. Winnipeg has the Blues numbers. Like in the last 24 games, the Blues have won like 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it's just a really bad number there. So that's something
I do wonder if the Jets are going to do a quick ceremony type thing for Bobby Hall today.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they will.
The Blackhawks don't play until the 7th, and that will be their first time getting a chance to do anything on ice.
We don't play again until like the 11th.
Yeah, the Hawks bye week started yesterday.
Yeah, see, our bye week doesn't start, even though we don't play. We don't have a game scheduled. Our bye week doesn't start until after the All-Star break.
Wow.
Right? So we just got, I mean, that's just what the schedules have done, you know? So there's some possibility that we get some games in hand, but if these teams ahead of us win and don't lose, games in hand don't matter.
I mean, there's not a lot of games this week going on.
Yeah, but the week after the All-Star break where we don't play?
Yeah, there's still not as many as there are in recent weeks, just looking at it.
Matt Lowe says, I want a Hagel return for all 3 of 90, 91, and 49.
Sorry, you guys don't have a Kyle Davidson who can fleece the Tampa Bay Lightning of trading Brandon Hagel for 2 players and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. I just don't see. I'm sorry. For me right now, I think Tarasenko if he won last year, remember when Claude Giroux was, everyone was talking about possibly Claude Giroux getting traded?
Yeah.
Right. Claude Giroux simply stated, when he got asked, he simply stated, I'm going to keep playing my best, da 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 da. But he never adamantly denied that he wasn't going to waive that trade clause.
That's how it is in Chicago right now.
Right. With Tarasenko, he's adamant. He hasn't said. I mean, he hasn't said anything. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't said anything. So to me, that just the fact that he hasn't said anything just makes me think that the trade's not going to happen. So starters tonight. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds what happened with Claude Giroux. It sounds like a lot of the same stuff going on with Taves and Kane this year.
Yeah. Blue starters are Shin centering Saad and Kyrou with Pareko and Leddy and Bennington in net. Sorry, guys. My hand's bothering me right now. I guess I need to put it up a little bit. Yeah, my hand's really bothering me. Been so good. The swelling's gone down. So now I have the itching and I can feel the stitches. Like I have stitches here and I have stitches here.
Oh.
Right? So, and I can feel them right now. So I don't know what else is going on, and I don't get this thing removed and the stitches out until next Tuesday, a week from Tuesday. So the next week is going to kind of be interesting with my arm.
Yeah.
And my fingers are still numb. That's the weirdest feeling in the world, when your fingers are absolutely numb. Like I can't grab anything. I can't completely close my hand. Now I can. They're saying the whole ceremony's on. I'm not seeing it yet. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Right. Are you? Do you have NHL Network on?
It's not showing on NHL Network for me.
Okay.
I will see if I could capture.
Oh yeah, it's on. It's on NHL Network right now.
Okay.
So I'm kind of listening to
ceremony after. They probably will just show it on YouTube and stuff. But I'm still trying to figure out what the Blackhawks will do, if they would even do something like they did with the Stan Mikita patch.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely, they will.
There's speculation they might not.
Oh, Matt Lowe, you're a jackass. I would recommend you need to do that, Matt Lowe.
I know I'm going to be at the first game. The Blackhawks are back from their bye week, and that's in the United Center, so I'm going to keep an eye out what they're going to do for it.
There will be some ceremony, and I'm pretty sure that they will be wearing a 9.
There's speculation they may not. That's the thing.
I know, Matt Lowe, so that's why I'm throwing it back at you. I think you have to. I think you have to. I think not doing something is worse than doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would rather take the heat for doing it than not doing it.
Yeah. Because
here's the thing, if you don't do it and you take heat for not doing it and then you do it, you're going to take even more heat. If you do it and you take the heat, wait a news cycle and the heat goes away.
Yeah.
Right? To me, it makes a lot more sense just to sit there and make sure that you acknowledge it and you put the 9 on and you say, you know what? No, we're imperfect individuals. You may not like what somebody does. That's fine. You cannot like him, but I got to acknowledge what he did for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, really, between him and Mikita, they built hockey in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at what they did in the 60s coming up prior to the expansion draft. You know, if those two don't do what they're doing, there's a good chance that there is no. I mean, there were teams in the original 6 that were struggling.
Yeah, I know. And the thing was, I am just wondering, just because There has been notable players in the past the Hawks did not put patches on, like Pierre Pellant, another player with his number retired by the Blackhawks,
Okay.
and they didn't wear a patch or have a sticker on
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Was he an ambassador for the Hawks for a while?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just think that for this one you're going to have to.
Yeah, I know.
This is like a Mount Rushmore, right? He's like a Mount Rushmore guy, and you can't, you look at Kane and Taves and you go, well, maybe they should be there, and I'm like, they're too new to be Mount Rushmore guys. When you think of
I would put Taves and Kane on a Mount Rushmore of Chicago Blackhawks at this point, just because the 3 Stanley Cups and all the awards they have acquired in Chicago. Because think about it, Mikita and Hall, 1 Stanley Cup.
Yeah. True. But different era, different time. You got to hand it to the Hawks of the 2010s. They really worked the cap the right way to win a cup, lose everything, rebuild, win a cup.
They didn't even rebuild in between each of those cup runs in 2010s.
I thought you said between 10 and 10 and what was it? 11?
The
or
cup,
no, 10.
The cup between
10 and 13.
10 and
I thought they had
13,
like a really bad season after 10.
After winning the cup in 2010, they became the 8th seed in the playoffs, mainly because they lost a bunch of roster players from 2010, but they were able to retool it pretty quickly because they were still in playoffs those 2 seasons in 2010 and 2012. 2013, they became the cup champions again. 2014, they were in the conference final, should have won it in a game 7, and they would have won the Stanley Cup for 3 straight years if they won that conference final in 2014.
Yeah, I mean, possible. So, they did a good job. They did a really good job of working with the cap and getting the right guys. You got to give it to them. Well, it looks like the game's about to start. You going to stick around, Nick, or?
I will. I might be able to hop back in during intermission, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think for the first period, I'm going to box out, guys. I might come back. My fingers are really bothering me right now, so I might come back here in a little bit. But we'll see you guys at the first intermission. Thanks, Nick.
All right.
Hey guys, just so you know, my fingers are kind of bothering me a little bit. It's not bad, it's not pain, it's just they're really numb, and I'm trying to hold them or get them into a position where they're getting some blood to them, and I'm not feeling that numbness because it's bothering me. It's really weird. But I will be back at the intermission and then probably be on for the second. I just need to give my fingers a break. Thanks, guys. Wow, what a period. What a period. Benny is the worst goalie in the league. Shut up. 60% of them would have been down at least 1-0, if not 2-0 right now. I agree. Shockey, I'm with you. Bennington has played absolutely amazing, and the Blues haven't played that bad. The high stick, it happens. I mean, but the Blues kill off a big 4-minute double minor. They're staying in this game, and they're playing. Stats are not that far off. Believe it or not, the stats are not that far off. And that's kind of what we need right now is a game where the stats are close. And hold up, and I'm going to get them there. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm just working on the railroad all the live long day. I'm just working on the railroad, working my life away. Something cool happened today. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Maybe we'll get into the stats first. Okay, the Blues ended up having 12 shots, and so did the Jets. Blues had 7 blocks. The Jets had 6 blocks. The Blues had 4 missed the net. The Jets had 2 missed the nets. In all, the Jets had 20 attempts, and the Blues had 23 attempts. That's close. That's very, very, very close. Danny, share the group. No one's joining me today. Nobody wants to watch Blues hockey and talk to Guy today. Hits. Blues had 5. Winnipeg had 6. Then very close. Winnipeg had 2 giveaways. The Blues had 3. Blues took it away 4 times. Winnipeg took it away twice. Both teams blocked 6 shots. Blues won the face-off battle 10-8 for 56% to 44%. Hello, Lance.
Sorry about this. I'm having some camera problems. It's not, my computer's not recognizing my.
It happens. Sometimes I got to reset my browser to make it happen, or go into the I don't know what browser you're using. Sometimes on
I've tried both.
Edge.
I've tried Microsoft Edge. I've tried Mozilla, and I've tried Chrome, and none of them are recognizing my camera.
Then best thing to do is unplug it and replug it and reboot.
That's what I've done.
Okay.
I'll try to get it fixed. I'll try to get it fixed for the second intermission.
No problem, man. What did you think of the first?
Well, the Blues actually looked like they had some life to them. I don't like the amount of shots and good quality chances that Winnipeg got, because, I definitely think that Bennington made harder saves than Hellebuck made some saves. And, they talked about it that Hellebuck had some good positioning, but I mean, my God, he's right in the middle of the ice a lot of times, and the Blues are shooting it right in his chest.
Yeah.
Is that a product of great positioning? Yeah. But is it a product of the Blues shooting it right at his chest? Yes. But I'm happy with it. I mean, this team could have came out and laid a big egg. I don't really concern myself too much. As long as they're playing well and getting chances, I'll be happy with it. And I'm happy with the first period.
Yeah, I am too. I thought that the Blues played pretty well. I thought they got some good shots on the goal. You're right. They're shooting it in the chest, and we see that. However, the thing is this team looks more like the team that ended the game against Colorado than the team that started the game against Colorado.
This team looks like it has a pulse. And against Colorado,
right?
In the first
something good may have happened. Something good. I know that there's a song called Something Good.
That's a good point, Chris. They definitely need to get him going side to side.
Side to side, yeah.
They definitely do.
That's a joke. Don't go on a tangent. Blues fans, Emperor, please.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but since you said it, let's get into it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually done. I wish we didn't have to talk about him, but people bring him up all the time.
Yeah. We talked about it pregame. There's the NHL Network. So I'm watching the game on NHL Network since it's on there, even though it's got the NHL announcers who are assholes. Mm-hmm. Bobby Hull passes away today. No matter what you thought of him personally or what his personal beliefs were, he was still a really good player. The guy helped build the league. He's one of those. He's a Mount Rushmore type player. And he gave us Brett Hull.
Yep.
Right. I mean, you got to hand it to him.
It amazes me that people aren't steadfast with how they judge professional athletes. One athlete, like, one athlete, doesn't matter what his personal life is. We shouldn't judge him on his personal life. We're judging his professional sports career. And then other athletes, I can't judge him on his sports career because he was a bad person. You can't have it both ways, people. And it's like I tell people on Twitter all the time, I'm glad that you're so perfect that nobody can say anything negative against you. I'm happy for you because we all have stuff that we regret that we did. We regret that we said, and we even have stuff that we said that we don't regret that might rub people the wrong way. That's the way life is.
No, I mean, you acknowledge the bad, but you celebrate the good. And that's what I did today. I think I did a good job at that. Ash?
Yeah.
I agree. You did.
Well, it's like I brought out, can you imagine if he hadn't spent 6-7 years in the WHA, how many more points he would have had in the NHL?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He probably would have he would have been second in goals.
He'd have been close to it, if not second.
Yeah, he'd have been second in goals. Marianne says they need to rattle their goaltender. They do, and I think they're doing really good. Without Bobby Hull, there's no hockey in St. Louis. That is a good point. That's a good point, and it's a true point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell.
Bobby gave us Brett, and Brett didn't fall too far from the tree, and that had a lot to do with Brett Hull was born in Canada, in Winnipeg, or not Winnipeg, or somewhere up north, but he was raised in Chicago. So he was raised in Chicago and Winnipeg, right? Chicago and Winnipeg. And he had this sense of the blue collar sense. That's what he got from his dad, and he brought that. Like when Winnipeg when Calgary traded, it was Calgary that traded him, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. When Calgary traded him, I don't think that his attitude would ever fit in well with Calgary, right? His nonchalantness and some of that else. But here in St. Louis, you're a blue collar town, and he was the right one to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, did you see the messenger that I sent you?
I think so. I just didn't understand what it was. I was working on homework.
I want to say one more thing. I want to say one more thing about Bobby and Brett.
Yeah.
It would have taken a lot longer to get the Blues a new arena, and they may have never gotten one if not for Brett Hull. That's why they call Savis Scott Trade the new Kill Center, whatever you want to call it, the name that's all been called, Enterprise Center. Without that, there would not be that new stadium. We wouldn't have got
the house that Brett built.
Right. That's exactly right.
Right.
The Larry Connors picture.
You just gave it away. Yeah. I got friended by Larry Connors today, so I have reached out to him. I'm hoping he'll do an interview with us.
Oh.
He's a St. Louis icon, and I think the insight he can give us into sports in St. Louis, even though he's a news guy, and I know he's ultra conservative, and that's fine, but the insight he can give us into a blue collar town and their sports would just be amazing. So I'm hoping that we get something back. One thing that you weren't supposed to say, you said it out loud.
Well, you didn't have anything. I just saw a picture of Larry Connors, and I'm like,
but don't you see above it where it says friend?
I didn't look at that because you didn't state that. I just saw a picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was hoping you'd push on it and you'd see that he friended me.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I just thought that you were excited that he had 1,000 friends.
Say again?
I thought you were just excited that he had 1,000 friends.
No. Without the Blackhawks, there's no Blues, and that's an absolute true statement. I've talked about that numerous times, right? The Wirtz family owned the arena, and it was they Wirtz Sr. was an absolute slumlord. And he basically told the NHL, if you don't give St. Louis a franchise, we're leaving the NHL. and he forced him to give St. Louis to Frank. St. Louis never bid on that. You know, it was Sid the Third, or has, and I won't say who called him this, but as some of the guys that I know called him Sid the Third. Convinced his father to buy the team and buy the arena and fix that place up, and you know, because of that, you know, the Solomons, you know, they really did turn into they made us all fans, and that's what's important. There is nothing wrong with being ultra conservative. I'm just not. We almost lost our Blues. That is a true statement. Didn't the Blackhawks owner make another franchise team, which became no, it was not that.
No,
Yeah, better get used to it if you're coming back to freedom-loving Missouri guy. Well, so the Blackhawks are the Blues daddy, basically. So what are your Ashley? What are your impressions of the first period?
They came out and did exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them play, you know, the game, be competitive. They came out, they killed a 4-minute double minor with only allowing one shot. I felt like they had good pressure in the zone. Levo had at least 3 chances that were solid. Tarasenko had a couple. I really liked what I saw.
Yeah, I'm with you. I absolutely like what
Bennington
we saw
was
there.
phenomenal.
I thought that the Blues, and I told Lance this earlier, I said, this looks like the team that finished the game against the Avalanche and not the one that started it. Is that a fair assumption?
That is very fair.
Lance, where are you hitting on Ashley? Ashley, did you do that to yourself? Did you just hit on yourself?
No.
I thought that was you.
That's totally Ryan Green.
No, because this is Ryan Green.
Yeah, but Ryan's got it down where he can change his name again.
Oh, he does? Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. We're in trouble now. Gloria's saying, hi, Gloria.
Oh.
Jason Nichols.
Maybe not.
Benny does not give up on a play, and he hasn't. He's been the MVP. And wait a minute, Ashley, read this.
But that's exactly what Ryan Green would say if he didn't want us to know it was Ryan Green. So it is Ryan Green until proven otherwise.
Oh, my goodness. 20 minutes of hockey. Now we got to play 40 minutes of good hockey. I agree. Oh, I lost Lance for a second. I think he's working on his camera. This is right. No, I'm limited to changing it every 10 days. Well, that's on your fault. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody.
It's
Without
Ryan.
JB, this is a bottom 5 team in the NHL. And see, I disagree with that. I think you take this is a bottom 5 team or bottom because of where's the guy I need to be? Where's the guy I need to be on the show when I need him on the show? Where's Bob Morton? This whole season is on frickin' Berube. Mm-hmm. There's no way you can convince me anything other than that.
Agreed.
All right? This whole season is absolutely on Berube. I hope so, my friend. I hope so, McGungle! How you doing, buddy? How you doing, man? I can't wait till we can go out and tear up the town a little bit when I get back home for good. I do not own the rights to Lance, this guy. They just used me. Oh, my goodness. What craziness do we have here? This is, guys, pivotal game of season, win tonight or lose and miss the playoffs. No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I think you really need to win this one. You know what, Carly? I'm going to tell you bullshit. Right? You know what? Take every one of those articles and really look at them. I have no issue with Bennington's antics because every other goalie's done it and nothing's been said to him. Bennington's one of the few goalies out there whose team has let him down, and he has played his ass off.
I'm with you, Ryan. Bennington's antics make me very happy. I am very amused by them at all times. Kind of like how I feel like Boston might be amused with Brad's, Brad Marchand's.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Or Washington with what's it, that idiot's
Wilson.
name? Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's I have no issue with I cringe every time Ben. You know what? Why is it in 19 when he did that, when he was all fired up in 19 and won us the cup? Oh, it was so good. Oh, we loved it. We loved it. Now there's an issue. There's a deeper issue than Bennington, yet now we want to put it all on Bennington and his antics. Bennington being fired up is the reason this team changed against the Avalanche.
Exactly.
And if you can't see that, you are absolutely freaking blind. I will say it
if
right
Bennington
here,
was
right
in the
now.
wrong, if he was in the wrong, he would have had a penalty on that play too, but he wasn't. He was
wasn't.
slashed. He had every right to be fired up, and he didn't do anything wrong. Therefore, he wasn't penalized while the, Blues ended up having a power play.
He got slashed right here. On the chest, not on the arm where there's padding. He got slashed in the chest.
Exactly.
Right? I'm sorry. Well, what changed? Why are we now all of a sudden going, oh, we don't love it because we're not winning? It's the same. There's nothing different. He's the same guy.
I personally just love his fire. I love the fact that he has no F's to give. He will go out there and, pretty much have his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, I just think that what Bennington's doing isn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be. You know what? Here we go. Everyone's making out Bennington to be worse than Kadri. Mm-hmm. Tell me one thing that Bennington's ever done that's worse than Kadri. And in fact, you go and look at that penalty he got for throwing his arm out and, the interference penalty. I've watched 10 other goalies do that same play with no call.
Exactly.
No call.
Actually, Carly, there are videos of him actually fighting when they would let him in the AHL, and he did do pretty darn well.
I don't know what you're talking about there, Marianne. Carly Uduva, right? He's dropped the gloves before. He's gone after. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? So what? His defense has gotten worse every year after, too.
Yeah, I mean,
and I was all over him in the bubble and during the 21 season, right, Ash?
Yeah, but you have to look at how much the Blues have lost defensively. We're down Pietrangelo. We lost Dunn, which really wasn't that big of a deal, but it was, part of our defense for the Cup team. We've lost Dunn is who I said.
Dunn, okay.
We've lost Gunnarsson, we've lost Edmondson, we've lost oh gosh, I forgot his name and I loved him.
Bouwmeester.
That one, thank you.
Right, yeah. Okay, game's back on. Second period's just starting. DP gone. DP's is that loss is nothing to me. Right?
Yeah,
I think we made a big deal out of that loss.
It is a big deal, but whatever.
If that's a big deal, then this, you know what? The loss, and I talked about this. I wish you were here. I think I talked about it yesterday or 3 days ago.
I'm never going to convince you that, Tarasenko isn't, God's gift to St. Louis hockey. You love some Tarasenko. Well, okay. I love me some David Perron. So no matter what you spew out of your mouth right now, you're not going to change my mind. We're going to differ in opinion.
What I'm saying, you missed what I was trying to say there.
No, because you're going to go on and on about the same thing over and over again. No, I'm not.
What I'm saying is Perron leaving is just another red flag of the locker room issues that Berube is there. That we've all missed because Berube won us a cup. We've all done this. We've all had these signs of how bad the locker room is and how bad Berube's messages become. But because we won the cup, we've done this. We've hidden it.
Nope. You and I are on the same page about that too.
What?
That's the one thing you and I are on the same page about. I've never been blind about Berube.
I think that I think yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I know it's on, but we still got a good discussion going while this game's happening. Shots are 15-12, so Winnipeg's got 3 shots in the second to none for the Blues in the first minute and 15 seconds, 14 seconds. We in St. Louis, because Berube won that cup, since the bubble, there have been sign after sign after sign that this team does not, that what the media is selling, the team ain't buying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's been sign after sign. And every time there's been this sign, we've done this. We as fans and we as St. Louis have done this. We have put our hands in front of our face and we have put blinders on and we've said, no. It's not him. It's this guy and it's that guy. Or no, Berube can't be bad. He won us the cup. You know what? Since that cup, what has he done? Look at his playoff record. Look at his playoff record. Look at the defense. Here's this great defensive coach, yet we have no defense. Why do we have no defense? Because we have players that are more offensive minded, that he doesn't coach to their abilities. Yet we put that on the player. Oh, it's the player because he doesn't listen to Berube. No. A good coach will always. Allen's another good point on here. Right? Berube hasn't been coaching better, and Benner hasn't been a better goalie. I don't know. You know, if you want to just look at numbers, great. But I look at his play overall, and his play overall hasn't changed, but what's in front of him has.
You know what? And I'll go with you, Matt. I'll say that Benner has not been a better goalie because he has maintained a consistent status. The team in front of him hasn't been consistent, therefore his results are not consistent.
I'll go with that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1. Who remembers what that references to?
RoboCop?
No, Little Rascals.
Off to get.
No, it's RoboCop. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop.
Now,
sorry, I was like 2 when that movie came out.
What you're thinking of with Little Rascals is nothing beats a buck and a duck.
Yeah.
From the Little Rascals movie.
Yeah.
There was also a song, I got $1, I got $1.
I got $1. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The player's failures in the D zone also makes it hard to do better. Yeah. Right? Winnipeg's on a power play. I guess I missed that, and Berube's pissed, which doesn't surprise me. What else is new? Well, the Blues killed off a great 4-minute. Let's see if they can do this. Get aggressive. They are the least aggressive team on the penalty kill, and I've seen that time and time again. Let's see if it gets better here.
I still say Boudreau.
I say for now, because I don't think Boudreau's going to coach a team after what happened to him. I don't think he's going to go in midseason.
Oh, I think he will. The fans there let him go with, such love that I don't think that he would. He's going to blame that on those particular owners and not hold it against anybody. Yeah. It might have left a bad taste in his mouth for him to start mid-season, but I do see him coaching again.
I see him coaching again too. I do, but I think the right move is during the All-Star break is to let Berube go and bring in Ott. I really do. I
don't know that I trust Ott either, though. I don't think that Ott would do anything that would better our situation.
You know what? I brought this up to 3 different media members. I asked them if you were going to put somebody on our coaching staff, who would you put? Because I have somebody and I think it's non-conventional. And I was absolutely surprised that all 3 media members said Ott.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons they said Ott is because he's played with some of these guys.
Yeah, I get that.
He played with Tarasenko. He played with O'Reilly. He played with some of these guys. So because of that, there's this feeling that he can connect with them better. That Berube has lost connection with the players.
He has.
Right? And while he is defensive, he became a defensive type player. He's also an offensive player. And this year the penalty kill's been bad, but he ran the penalty. I think he ran the penalty kill last year.
No, he didn't. He did power play.
Power play last year, right?
Montgomery ran the penalty kill.
Yeah. He didn't play, on a team with O'Reilly, but he played at the same time O'Reilly did. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Let me take that back. Wasn't he played with O'Reilly in Buffalo?
Hmm.
I think he played with O'Reilly in Buffalo.
I think he did too. That's why I didn't cringe when you said it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played with O'Reilly in Buffalo. Right? I'm almost dead certain he did. Right? So there's only like 8 players left on this team from the Cup.
Really? Yeah.
And most of them are young guys. The only old one is the older ones are O'Reilly and
Tarasenko.
Bortuzzo, O'Reilly, and Tarasenko. Everybody else is younger guys. Kyrou, Barbashev, Thomas. Actually, Kyrou might have been a year later.
No, Kyrou was here the Cup year.
Okay, yeah. That's right. Kyrou's the one that got so drunk that he almost fell off the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say who told me that, but somebody told me that they had to go get security to take him off the bleachers.
I thought that was done.
No, it wasn't done.
Huh.
It might have been done too, but it was also Kyrou. Right? I think Dunn is the one that threw up on the TV camera.
That he did do.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Yeah. Benny, I'm sorry. I look Dunn puked in the car. Yeah, but yeah, Kyrou was. When they got Dunn, if you remember, when all the players were there, Dunn was not on the top of the bleachers. He was down, like he was sitting. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple other young guys up on there. Well, they killed that penalty off. 13:34 to go. Shots are 18 to 12, and
behind.
for the period they're 6-0. So here we are. With 13:24 to go, and the Blues don't have. Well, according to this, they might have a shot on goal now.
They had a shot at 14.
Yeah, it just hasn't shown up yet. There we go. Yeah, it's still showing 12 shots.
It was Kyrou. Kyrou hit him. It was a really good scoring chance, but he hit him like in the chest.
Right, Bennington's. See, and I when. Here's my issue. And Carly, I love you, okay? And I don't want you upset. He might have hit the post. Right? Yeah, he might have
Thomas
hit the post,
would
so that's
get
why
it
it
over
didn't count
Kyrou.
as or did we hit they hit the crossbar?
I don't know. I'm a minute behind, so anything you're talking about I haven't seen.
I'm at the 12:57 point.
Yeah, I'm at 13:31.
Okay.
Who becomes captain first chance, Kyrou or Thomas? It'll be Thomas because Kyrou isn't even getting the A. It's always Thomas that gets the A whenever it's, available.
Yeah, it'll be Thomas. Thomas is the future of this team.
I agree 100%.
Oh. Well, I mean, they're trying to get pucks on net. I like Torpachenko's hustle tonight. He has been all over the ice. All over the ice. Looks like the puck tipped off of something. Oh, Blues are going on a power play.
Oh, sweet.
Looks like the puck over the ice. Or over the glass. Ooh.
I think that it'll be between Tarasenko and Falk, but I think Falk will get the captaincy, Ryan.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I think it would go to Thomas. I think that they would go, too many men. Okay. I think that Thomas is the future. I think it goes to Thomas. And I still, as much as I want Tarasenko to be here, I don't think he will be.
Oh, I don't think he will be either, really. That's why I went Falk. I think they'll go Falk before they'll go Thomas, just because Thomas is still so young.
Yeah, but Falk and Thomas, Falk's still got too many years. He just signed, he's got 5 more years, so You're not gonna. And if once you give him that C, you're keeping that C till you trade him. So to me, I think it goes to Thomas.
No, because Falk's only going to have 4 years, and Thomas has got 8. So
I don't know what girl from YouTube you're talking about, Danny.
is he talking about Carly?
Carly, I don't know. Oh, Carly, I honestly don't know, Danny. And to be honest, and I don't mean this to be mean or rude, I'm not 100% sure Carly is Carly. Right? Because with Facebook, again, you know, you have Ryan Green, who can prove to me you can be anybody you want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So with that, I'm not 100% sure Carly is Carly, and I don't mean anything about it. I like the person that is on and that, but I can't prove who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I can prove who you are, great. If I can't, I'm cautious. Right?
Except for Ryan, I'm pretty good at telling when Ryan is changing his name.
Yeah. He's getting to the point now because he knows there's a couple of times that he's really, really frustrated me. That he'll now say something before I get too frustrated.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, there was one time he had me going, too, when he was McDavid.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Blues on a power play. Now, if we get a power play, why didn't we start with the power? Nope, not a power play. So it ended up not being too many men. Because the face-off was in our zone. It shouldn't have been in our zone if we had the power play. Now, I guess they looked at it again. No penalty.
I didn't think that was a reviewable one.
My fingers are bothering me today. They look better, though.
Yeah, they look less like sausages and more like hot dogs.
Now we're getting another penalty. Barbashev for hooking. You give it some spice, but sometimes you don't know where that line is. Right? And I love you, Ryan, and I do, and you know that. But there are times when you know, especially when I'm inside my head, when I'm mentally frustrated, that you like to pour it on then.
I always find you amusing, except for that time that you pretended to be McDavid. Then you set me off a little bit.
Yeah.
I was quick to calm down when I realized it was you, bud. And Danny, I get it, man.
Well, this is not a good start to the second period. They have one shot. Shots are 6-1, and this is the second power play for second play of the period for Winnipeg. Bennington's so sharp, and that concerns me when he plays this sharp because you can only be this good for so long. You know, at some point, if the team in front of you is not helping you, you're going to fail. There we go. Good clear. Jason, I think you're asking for way too much there, my friend. Way too much.
I don't know. Levo's had a good game so far. He's had several chances.
He even warned us, though. Did he warn us?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did. All right, I don't think he did. And there you go. There's that line you're talking about. I'm talking about. I'll take a shorty. I think Danny.
I think you have a different kind of shorty, Danny.
Huh?
I think Danny's talking about a different kind of shorty.
Kind of shorty, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure if he's taking a shorty or a fatty. I mean, see now this penalty kill is the first one I've seen in a long time where they are aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind an aggressive penalty kill. When your goaltender's playing as good as your goaltender is, I love an aggressive penalty kill because it works in your favor. It absolutely works in your favor. Yeah,
I think you're on a whole different page there, Ryan. I was talking about a different kind of shorty than what you're referring to. Guy and I were on the same page. You're taking it too far.
Who is?
Ryan.
Oh.
Telling me I'm not very ladylike.
And then Danny goes short and Vancouver did not sweep us, Shockey. It was a 6-2 or a 4-2 loss. Vancouver did not sweep us. We were swept by Colorado. And Army did start after the bubble. He did start retooling his team a little bit. And I think, here's the thing. Pietrangelo was the play in the bubble, to me, was the first red flag that got thrown up.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the players you could tell that they were not buying into what Berube was selling. And this is the first time where it starts to really connect. You know what I mean? This is the first time that you see that buy-in's not happening. But we don't see it. Oh, we blamed it on COVID and all this other stuff. And then this player injured and that player injured. And we did. We blamed it on a lot of stuff like that. Then we get into the bubble and Pietrangelo, or then we get into the offseason and Pietrangelo, I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm not going to negotiate. Well, you know what? Why not? What's going on here that all of a sudden this team that you say you love so much, you're not going to negotiate with?
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, should have been the red flag. But we did what we did. Oh, Army won't do this. It's Army's fault. It's Army's fault. Well, wait a minute. Why is Pietrangelo, a guy that says he wants to be here, and that is, that's the kind of an issue there that we missed. And then we have the next season, and that shortened season, and this team was so up and down. And the identity that maybe there's something going on here. We start seeing it, yet again, we blame COVID, we blame injuries. I think the signs that there's been an issue with Berube in the locker room for a while now have been there, but we've hidden them. And then we look at, the Tarasenko with the quote-unquote trade request. And then you go back and you look at last season, up until December when the guys get COVID, when he's forced to play these younger players, and these younger players go out and show him that he can do it. But then when push comes to shove, he doesn't use the younger players. He puts them back on the bench here. He puts them on the third line with no minutes and, all of that.
Yeah, Danny, I think you're right, man.
Close. You know what? But all the players, not one player that we have that has a no trade clause, with the exception of maybe one, is a player that would not receive a trade clause somewhere else. Mm-hmm. When Parayko signs that contract, he gets a no trade clause. When Bennington signs his contract, doesn't matter where he signs.
Exactly. The only player I can think of that probably shouldn't have gotten one, that wouldn't have gotten one anywhere else, is Scandella.
Exactly.
And that one's a modified one, so it's not even
and it's a
one.
modified one. So I agree. I think that's the one right there that I go, yeah, that probably doesn't happen. But everybody else that gets them, they're players that would have gotten them elsewhere.
Even then, Scandella at that time did earn it, because he stepped in when we got him, and he played very well that last part of that season. He earned that. He didn't live up to it after, in my opinion, but I still think that he would tremendously help this team if he was healthy and back right now.
Oh, yeah, I agree, too. I absolutely agree. I think his grit is what we've missed.
Even on games that I've torn him up, you could tell that man is trying at all times.
Yeah.
When he is on the ice, you can see maximum effort, even if it might not be in the right place.
Yeah. So this is a confused hockey team. And when you see a confused hockey team of guys that absolutely know, oh, Matt Lowe, I don't. Look at how the team played without him. They haven't played that much better.
But he's been back for a few games now, and what has he done? Is kind of, I mean, I don't even think he should be back right now. I don't think his wrist is 100%. You can tell that his shot it's good. I mean, he has a good shot, but it's not where it was. He is not 100% yet.
No, I agree. Well, I mean, there you go. There's neighbors falling down, trying to make a turn. I don't know what it is about the top of the circle, but it's like they see the top of the circle and they have to make a turn, have to stop right there. Ashley, how do you feel about the soccer team?
I mean, it should be fun. I don't watch professional soccer, but I'll probably watch that.
Falk traded to the Rangers. Bobby, I don't know. I see. That's not a player I trade. He's been one of your best. Why would you trade him?
I wouldn't trade him at all.
Yeah, I think
here,
he's somebody
I've been talking about giving him the captaincy. I keep saying Falk. Let's give it to Falk.
Yeah.
So that is not a player I touch. I would trade Kyrou before I'd trade Falk. That's how.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with that. And I get a journal. See, you know what? A lot of journalists speculate. A lot of them speculate. Right? And because of that.
Yeah, mine's cut out a few times too, Jason. It just cut out now too.
Yeah, mine hasn't.
Well, we're watching it on the Bally app, so.
Yeah. I probably watch it. I've been asked to do a game show for it, and I might.
I'll be at work.
We'll see. We'll see. I might do a show that day, that Sunday. If I don't go watch it somewhere else, I might. I did watch football yesterday. I did watch both games yesterday, and I got to tell you, the San Francisco game, that was the worst officiated game I think I've ever seen, and I can't believe people are talking more about the Kansas City game being badly officiated, where I thought it was for the most part really well officiated. Mm-hmm. So it looks like we did get a interference penalty, or we drew an interference penalty. So now we're back on the power. We're on the power play. This will be our second one. I don't think we have any power play shots yet. We've given up 13 shots so far this period, 25, and we've taken 4. We have got to make the play. Shin wins the draw, and then they lose it. No, maybe. Kick it. There we go. Oh, Tarasenko just a tad too long. If he snaps that off a little bit quicker. That's the one thing, the quick snapshots that a lot of these guys have, you haven't been seeing them using it. And to me, why don't these guys use their snapshots? Some of it is when the puck's gotten there. Some of it, and a lot of it is, I think, I think Berube has told them to not snap it off, but find that perfect shot.
It's a possibility. So,
right?
question.
It feels that way.
I was reading an article, I think, by Rutherford. He had a survey on questions about what's going on with the Blues and what the problem is. But one of the questions that kind of stuck with me was, who do you think that out of the forwards is the MVP of this season?
Go!
I have no idea because I'm a minute behind.
What was it? Neighbors, right?
I still don't see it.
I think it was Neighbors.
Yep, I'm still 5:50.
Oh, offsides.
Oh.
It's offsides. I think they're going to challenge it and win. I think Neighbors just a click, yeah. Just a click. I think they're going to challenge it, yeah.
I still don't even see the goal, man. Yep, he's going to be a click. I just saw the goal.
Oh, nope, they didn't challenge it.
Huh?
They did not challenge it. Wow, good goal. Way to go, Neighbors.
Because I have a minute delay from him. Oh, Randy, shut up.
Nice goal, and that was on the power play.
I'm surprised they didn't challenge that.
Yeah. It might have just been too close. Right. So Bob here is Bob. At what, Bob? Okay, I get what you're saying, but at what point do you say, go back and start looking at? To me, when I start doing a little hindsight, I start seeing all these red flags that are coming up. Right. At what point is the coach responsible? You put it all on the players, nothing on the coaches, and you say it's all because the players are trying to be too fancy. But at what point do you put some of this on the coaches? What point do you put the poor defense on the coach? At what point do you put anything on the coach? Or is Berube just, because he won the cup, he's just a god in your eyes and there's nothing he can do wrong? Because that's what a lot of fans think. Because I'll tell you, the first thing, Berube can't do anything wrong. He brought us the cup. I hear that. I still hear that from fans. No, Berube's a great coach. He brought us the cup.
Hey, Guy, lower the volume of your voice just a smidge. This is something you say every show.
Okay, how's
now,
that?
I'm with you on the Berube stuff. I really, truly am. However, we're going a little too hard on it. I feel like Bob here is just trying to point out that some point in time we do have to hold the players accountable, which they are a little bit accountable for this. It's a whole conglomerate of the players not playing well, the coach and the players not getting along, there's crap in the locker room. It's all of it. There isn't just one thing. This is a swarm of
how many
bad
people
stuff
out there played sports for a bad coach?
I mean, everybody has.
Okay, when you play sports for a bad coach, I remember when I was when I played basketball in fifth and sixth grade, right? I had a coach in fourth grade, or I think it was fourth and fifth, or maybe fifth and sixth, whatever it was. I had a coach in fourth grade or fifth grade that was really, really good. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed how he played. I enjoyed his style, everything. When I got my sixth grade coach, it was the exact opposite. Exact opposite. Okay.
I agree with that one 100%.
I agree with that too, but then do something about it. Do something about it. It's Berube's job. Those coaches worked for him. Do something about it. Right? Do something about it. That's where I'm at there.
I just think that everybody's trying to put it on one aspect too much. I think that it is all of it.
I can see that. I do see everything, but to me, if I had to weigh where, what is the thing that you can change that might help this team the most? It's not trading players away, because you're still not going to get quote unquote Berube type players, because they don't exist anymore. They don't exist. And if they do exist, they're not skilled.
I honestly am at a point where it might even be more on Army than it is on Berube, because we knew what Berube was when we got him. When he was hired, we knew that this was a defensive coach. So Army keeps adding all these offensive players, and then he keeps adding more defensive style coaches. So there isn't somebody there to motivate Berube to try to be offensive.
Army doesn't hire the coach, Berube does.
Army does.
It's got to go through Berube. Almost every head coach, their assistants go through them. They are responsible for their assistants. Now, the contract, Army signs the contract.
Yeah, but the contract doesn't get signed without Army. They have to have a mutual agreement. Now, Army can push for it to be that there's an offensive, power play. There's a defensive, coach. There's one that might be more the middle of the road.
Yeah. Fair. And, Bob, that's a fair statement. I can't fight that. That's a fair statement. Right? My love affair for Tarasenko is just too much. Now we got
It
another
is.
penalty. Oh, wow. 2-minute advantage. Oh, this is not going to be good. Not going to be good. Letty for tripping. Well, let's see what happens in the next 25 seconds. Let's see if this team can do something. That's possible. On what team? League-wide or a team? For me, it's Parayko. It's absolutely Parayko on the Blues. Oh, wow. What a save by Bennington. But he has numerous times said they need to take better shots. Don't shoot, wait for your shot. And then he comes back the next game and says need to take more shots. He's changed his message, Bob, many times in press conferences. Well, they killed the 5-on-3. Let's see if they can kill the next 135 and keep this thing at a 1-goal lead with 2:48 to go in the second. I think for me, the most disappointing player is Parayko. Ash?
I mean, that's the easy answer. Personally, I think that with me, I'm going to go with my most disappointing player as Neighbors because he hasn't shown me anything I expected from, him. He hasn't shown anything that, indicates that he was what was being broadcast when we, drafted him.
I'm watching it on NHL Network. Bally's when anytime you watch the apps, it is delayed.
Mm-hmm.
It is delayed.
I mean, yeah, because I'm at 2 minutes and 48 seconds left, so I'm quite a bit delayed.
Yeah, I'm at 1:54. So you're about a minute delayed.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that. I've noticed it when I watch it. When I watch it on game time or game day, right? My game day, the NHL game day, Game Center, Center Ice. That it's because it's on Bally, because they're using Bally's feed. It's delayed heavily. Based watching it now. If I watch it on ESPN Plus, no delay at all, or very little delay. Right.
And that's fair, Bob. That is fair. I'm just saying that he's not what I expected. He still has plenty of time to grow, and if he's used properly, show that he's got the potential.
Oh, good kill there. Bennington wow, man. He's stopped 27 shots, 15 shots. Shots are 7. They were even in the first. They're 15-7. You're watching on DirecTV. Yeah, I wish I had. I have DirecTV, but the password I use is a Hawaii or my account is a Hawaii account, so I have to watch the West Coast ones. I was kind of upset about that, but look at Thomas year 1 or 2.
I think he's still talking about Neighbors, and you have a valid point, Bob. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying that that's my opinion at the moment. Parayko, we've known, has been regressing for the past few seasons, and I don't want to bully him. He gets enough of that from Guy.
The shot issue is the 6 power plays to our 2 possible, but we have a power play goal. Fair point. But shots are going to be like 7. They're going to be 17-7, 10-shot differential right now.
I've got 19-28. Like they have 28, we have 19.
I would agree with that. Logan Brown, I feel so sorry for the kid because I thought he was gonna. If he doesn't get injured, I think he's a superstar this year. I think he's a game changer this year.
But
his injuries has just hurt him so much.
I honestly think that anyone like Brown or Neighbors or even Walker, they all should be down in Springfield because they're not going to get anything good with a team that is this scattered. They're not on the same page. They're not going to be any good to a new up and coming player.
Dr. Detroit asked, who's the Blues MVP so far? I'll let
Shen.
Ashley go with the one first.
Shen.
I'm Bennington.
I mean, I love Benner. I love him, but Shen has just been a rock. Like, he is answering it anytime, with O'Reilly down and Tarasenko down. Who was the one that was leading us in scoring? It was Shen and Todd.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I can see that. I just think that you take Bennington out. You look at the numbers aren't that different, but I just think the style of play between Grice and Benner is so different that if Grice is the one here, it's a lot different.
I don't know. Grice has been pretty impressive, considering what's being played in front of him.
Yeah, he's had some impressiveness, but he's had more where, I don't know.
I still feel like Grice is an upgrade from Husso, so.
Oh, no, you know what? That was so close that they couldn't challenge it. Because it looks like his skate is right there on that blue line. 17 of the 18 shots on goal were on the power play. I wish there was a way. I don't have a way to see that. I wish I did. What power play shots were. I wish I had a next shot. Carly thinks Kairu's the Blues MVP. I could see that. I that's not a bad one. Bob says Shen is Mr. Giveaway. I can see that. Cujo is his idol. Yeah, Nick Kuprios on Sports Network did a good What's Wrong with the Blues today. I didn't get to see it. Maybe if you have a way to link it and send it to me, I'd love to see it.
I can't watch anything with Nick Kuprios.
Look at Darkness. Unless we're losing, it's a bad Darkness. You're not getting the number one pick. You're not getting it. Okay. So losing to me, I don't want to lose. I want this team to win, and I do want this team to make the Kyrou, Falk, Bennington, 1, 2, 3. That's not a bad pick. I forgot about Falk. I would go Bennington, Falk, Kyrou. Shen. That would be my 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, we're all going to have differences of opinion, Ryan, and it doesn't mean that.
No, absolutely.
It just means that we're particularly looking at different things.
Big thank you to John Hefner, Gloria Sieper, Richard Henry, Doolittle, Michael Edwards, Jason Nichols, Dale Clunk, Erickson Krieger, Aaron Coulter, and one more whose name I cannot see at the moment. I will try and look and see if I can bring it up. My mouse is decided that it doesn't want to work on me right now. Where is my mouse? Mousy. Yeah, my mouse has decided to stop working on me.
Oh, no.
It does this every now and then. I got to take the batteries out and flop them around. Batteries might be getting close to the point where they're going down.
Well, Ryan, we really appreciate the likes that you give us on YouTube and that you have subscribed. Unfortunately, we don't see it during the show. We have to actually go into YouTube later to see who liked it.
No, actually, I can't even then. I can just see how many. Yeah, I can just see how many. I'm not able to see.
I read that you put Vinny on, buddy. We read it.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure something out. Give me a moment. Okay, so we got 12 likes, and we got them from Jason Nichols, John Hefner, Kershaki, Aaron Coulter, Danny Johnson, Brad Pond, Richard Henry Doolittle, Justin Mullen, Michaels Edward, Dale Clunk, Erickson Krieger, Nathan Moyers, and Gloria Sieper. Yay. Yeah, I don't think Tarasenko's had a great game tonight. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good either. Way to go, Neighbors, with the sick mitts. If he was onside, he was just onside. Yes, I did, and I haven't had a chance to completely watch it yet. Last night after the show, I was kind of feeling down, but I will probably watch it later. 20 minutes, just got to get some time to do it. Bennington's played good tonight. Need a healthy Bushnevich. I agree with that.
100%.
I absolutely agree with that, Bob. I absolutely agree with you there. And you've said something to me before that I have blinders on when it comes to Tarasenko, and those blinders make me have resentment towards Berube. And you know what? Maybe. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. Thoughts on the Horvat deal? Good deal for both teams. Surprised it happened now. Wondering what the NHL is going to do with the All-Star game. I think that the best thing to do is let Horvat play for the Vancouver, right? I think that's the best thing to do. Or, because he was their one. And I don't think that they have another one. I don't know who else they could put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that would be it. I don't think it did. You look at it, his skate is right on that blue line, right on it. That's how I am. I miss a young Tarasenko. I'll agree with you there, Bob. I do too. But I still think that, I like Tarasenko's fire. I like what he brings to this team night in, night out. Look how he broke his hand blocking a shot.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you seen Ovechkin block a shot? How many superstars block shots? And everyone who sits there and says he's lazy, he broke his hand blocking a shot. Lazy players don't block shots. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen. Right? That's how I see it. See, now this is why that comment right there is why I wonder if Carly's real or not.
No, I think Carly's real.
Say again? You do?
Mm-hmm.
Tarasenko doesn't do anything. He's got 10 goals this season, and, he missed time, so he's only been back, 3? This is his third game back.
Yeah.
Fourth game back, something like that. I don't think the puck, when the puck crossed that line, he was right on that line. Okay, Carly. Okay, she just shot me back.
I told you that she's real. She just happens to have that opinion, and that's fine, Carly. You can totally disagree with us.
You're welcome to it. You're welcome to it. I'm so used to people coming on here and trolling me that I get cautious. Bertuzzi broke both his hands this year blocking shots. Fair point. Shockey, congratulations, guys. Bravo, or Alpha, and one of the Delta teams won their championships this weekend for the St. Louis Warrior Classic. First championships they've ever won, and they're 2 years old, almost 3 years old now. Great, 2.5 years old. Great guys. Great job this weekend, man. And what an awesome weekend for them. Right? He's usually only here during the playoffs.
Well, no, he's here whenever we play Edmonton or Colorado usually, but I think he might be mad at us right now.
because we know who you are. That's why. That's why, Ryan. Because we know who you are and oh, I have stories. I can't wait to hear him. You got to come on the show and tell him.
Exactly.
You realize we have troll spray. Lance Man, how you doing, bud?
I'd be doing better if my stupid cameras would work.
Yeah, well, it happens. What do you think of this second period for the Blues?
Bennington's saving this game for him. If they win this game, it's because of Bennington. I don't care if they win 1-0, 2-0, 3-2.
Yeah,
he's kept them in this game. And for anybody that would say any different, they don't know what they're talking about.
Shots are 31-19. 17 of those 19 shots came on the power play.
Really? Ovechkin's had more hits than the other top 5 scorers. Really?
since he arrived in the league.
No.
But let's see what he is lately.
No.
Right?
No. Everybody has this misnomer that Ovechkin is a physical, tough player. He can play defense. He can hit. I put him in the same type of defensive players as Tarasenko. They can hit. They can get a little physical in the corner, but they're not going to be known as great hitters. I'm sorry. There's a lot of players that's played since Ovechkin's first year in this league that I'll take, that are good scorers, that I'll take over Ovechkin any day in a defensive capacity.
Here we go.
No.
This is a good question. Do you think the Blues miss Husso? I'll ask Ashley first.
Nope.
Yeah, Lance?
Let me think. I'm trying to think of a 2-letter word. No.
I'm on board with that. I don't think that if you had him here, he would be the same. Yes, I will be covering the All-Star game, and I will be on for the skills competition. Right? I will be on. You'll be able to talk. We'll talk the whole league. We'll have fun. I will be on Friday and Saturday for that. Saturday's kind of early, but I'll be here for you guys.
I should be on for the skills competition, but I will not come on for the All-Star game because it's a waste of my time. Not for you, Guy. Not that you're wasting my time. It's that the All-Star game is wasting my time.
I'm fucking wasting your time now, Lance. That's not what you're telling me?
Well, if you're the All-Star game, then yes, you are wasting my time.
Oh, listen to this.
I'm kind of going to have to agree with Lance on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will also bow out of the All-Star game. It's a trap.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, I was going to ask you a question the other day when you hijacked my photo and pretended to be me.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, it was you.
It was Ryan.
My question to whoever did that is, since my picture was up there, do I have to go to work for you the next morning? Because you're representing me and there's things I can't do.
No. It's the exact opposite. They have to pay you for using your likeness and your image. You got to figure out who it is so you can file.
You know what? I'm going to have to get my my cheap $75 an hour lawyer on that.
There you go. I'll get my nickel an hour lawyer on it.
I like Shocky's response there.
What?
About Husso?
Oh, not no, but hell no.
Yeah.
Ovechkin crushes players 235 pounds. I like Grice more than Husso. I do too.
I do too.
All-Star's a waste of time. I'm not watching. Well, then I guess I lose a viewer that day.
Guy, if you need me to come on, I might be able to come on. I just don't really want to.
Well, it's up to you, my friend. Oh, my buddy. This is one of my shipmates. He does a cooking show.
Oh, cool.
The Warrito Network. Check it out. A great show. Good guy. Get a lot of Tex-Mex stuff. If you like Tex-Mex, check him out.
I was just going to ask
him out.
I was just going to ask if he's from Texas, if he does a lot of Tex-Mex.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge Tex-Mex guy.
I want his response here. Are you a big fan of chilaquiles? See if you like that. See if he likes that. I'm sure he'll say yes.
I'm trying to remember because he's using that. His name is like slipping me, and I know who it is, but I just can't. I have so many shipmates, I get them mixed up. So I want to say it's Byron, and that's who I think it is, but I can't completely. Yeah, I know I'm bad.
Okay. Ashley.
Okay. Good night, Ashley. Have a good night. Thank you for being with us.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, Byron. Yeah. See, I was right. It's Byron. So ask your question again for Byron there, Lance.
Byron, do you like chilaquiles?
All right. Can you hear him, Brian? Let me know if you can. We had the All-Star game in St. Louis. Yeah. How much does Ryan owe us, Lance, to Scott? Time for the class action suit.
Thank you, Jason. I'm going to get everybody involved. Everybody in this world that was affected by somebody pretending to be me, and have one of those major class action lawsuits where everybody gets like $6.
And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Check him out. Check him out on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, it is WISN. I think it's the same on Facebook, but he was the Warrito show for a while. He does this show to honor his mother, who passed away. It wasn't Lou Gehrig's disease, But she had something. I forget what it was. And she, I mean, a long trip, but this is how he honors his mother by the MLS. Oh, so it was Lou Gehrig's disease. I was right. Or MS, multiple sclerosis. Okay, MS.
Yeah, not MLS guy. That's a totally
MS.
different thing.
Yeah. MS, so multiple sclerosis. Wife and I went to the skills comp and liked it. Yeah.
Cool.
For me, I liked the skills comp. The only one that I didn't like, because I thought I think it could have been done better, was the Top Golf one. I would have liked to seen the Top Golf one done just a little bit better.
I would have liked to see them playing something a little bit better on the ice with that stupid thing they did with the playing cards, and guys were shooting at the playing cards.
Hey, that was last year.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something right now. I know I played goalie for most of my career. I could have done very good on that stupid card thing that they had.
You know what I would like to have seen him done with that? Had the cards turned backwards, so when you hit it, like an electronic card, so when you hit it, then it showed what the card was instead of them aiming at the cards.
Yep.
I think that would have been a lot better.
I think it would have been better inside on the ice. I mean,
you got money from Facebook, Jason? Damn, way to go, bud.
Yep, I did too.
I've never gotten shit from Facebook.
Yeah. They used there was a big class action lawsuit. They used your image. If you ever put your image on there, you could sue them, and people got $312.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't need $312.
All right. How about 313?
Yeah, no, I would use it the wrong way.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're gonna give me money, give me something that has to go in the bank that I'm not gonna put in my pocket and use the wrong way.
I agree with you, Jason.
Yeah, it did use gambling to attract fans, but it was a neat thing. I just think that if they would have had the cards hidden, and when they hit it, the card turned around, or it was an electronic thing, like because they were using electronic pucks, that would have been a lot better. Who cares?
I don't care about that. This game is definitely a goalie's battle. I'll say that much. But I think everybody will agree, and I'm hoping that even Jets fans would agree. Bennington has had a much harder time than Hellebuck.
Well, I mean, shots are 31-19. The shots that period alone, they were evened up in the first. That period were 19-7. Man, I can't say it now. They've had 6 power plays. Well, 5 power plays. Actually, it should be 6 because they had 2 minute. They had a 4-minute one, right?
Yep. So that's
So it should be well, since they didn't score, they only counted as 1, but it should count as 2, right? If they score, it counts as 2. If they don't score, it counts as 1, which makes no sense to me, right? So Parayko for interference, they had 1, 2, 3. They had 4 power plays that period. They had a 5-on-3 that period. We're getting ready to start this one. So no, Michael, his antics don't need to go away. I think everybody's got that wrong. I think everybody read that wrong. Everybody went and made such a big deal out of that when I thought it was exactly what he needed to do, especially the reason that they played better against Colorado was because of his antics. He doesn't have his antics. We get our asses wiped by Colorado. I'm okay with his antics. What are your thoughts on the Blues moving forward with the season and staying the same, no playoffs? I'm hoping they make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs. I think they have the talent to make the playoffs. They just got to figure it out. Maybe during this 2 weeks, they get together. They have some heart-to-heart talks. They do some things on their own, up until the bye week before they can't do anything, and they figure something out. That's all I can hope for. All right? Third period's just started. No shots for either team. Winnipeg hasn't scored a goal in 101 minutes. Wow. Let's keep it that way.
Winnipeg in the last 8 or 10 games, they've not played great.
Yeah, they have not played well.
Yeah, they're really having a slump.
All right. Yep, Michael, game on. We're talking about it. Dr. Detroit, thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Best thing we can get is a wild card. Now, I think we can move up to the third if we you win. You go win 10 or 11, 12 games, and you will move up rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That one just it hit Benning's glove, and from Benning's glove, it hit the post. So thank you.
I got to go. I'll be back after this period.
Okay.
All right.
Berube did say the other night on ESPN 101 that the players need to be getting on to each other more. You need to change your message. At least that's how I feel. All right. Need to get hot. I agree. Let's just not play this prevent defense, because if you do, we're going to lose this game. You got to get that puck. You're behind. You're up 1-0. You cannot let them outshoot you after the last period where they outshot you by 12 shots. Every time you get that puck, see, you can't do this, Tump. You got to take the puck in and fire the shot. Fire the shot. Yeah. We had a guy that was in the arena that talked about how hot Bennington went in the locker room and was yelling and screaming and was pissed off, and he had to come out and they had to set up a special area so he could cool off. So it did something. No, it's a good choice, Football Anti-List. Just keep paying attention to the Blue Note Fan Report, and we'll tell you, goal! There we go. First shot of the second period leads to a goal and a 2-0 lead. I missed it. I was looking at that thing there. Neighbors there pishes it out. Oh, nice. Oh, nice goal, too. Levo to, who is that? I can't see. Alexandrov. The Russian-German. The German-Russian. Neighbors, Levo's Alexandrov. Very nice. Bennington got an assist. Thank you, Bennington. I get a point. Yay, me. There you go, Football Anti-List. Welcome to the show. I'm Guy, the Y Blues fan. This is the Blue Note Fan Report. We're a show that's by a fan for the fan, and you got to know absolutely about you, the fan. We are on every game night, about a half hour before the game, and we stay on through the game. On off nights, we come on at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we talk hockey. We talk you. We hear your voice. So make sure you join the channel, put the notifications. Check us out on Facebook at Blue Note Fan Report. Put up for notifications there, and watch the show. Oh, your Berube comment. If Berube said that about the players getting on each other, does that mean they won't listen to the coach and he knows it? That's scary. He's asking him to do his job. It's holding each other accountable, but you're partially you're right, partially you're not. Oh, thumbs up and a shaka. Here you go. I haven't done a shaka in a long time. Right? Oh, I got to send Shaggy an invite. Shaggy's going to join us during the post game. Got to find him here. Oh, something's going on with one of the Winnipeg players. Ellers. He's hurting. Oh, Falk whacked him in the ankle. He got a whack. Falk got away with one. Oh, you know what? I'll welcome anybody. Tell all your friends, all your hockey friends, all your football friends to check us out. We're going to do a Super Bowl show, right? We'll come on for that. Danny's getting his tacos ready. I don't think that's going to happen. What haven't you had in 10 years? I like Falk. I do too. Falk had a rough when he first got here. It is 2-0 Blues. Now it's 2-1 Blues. Well, there went the shutout. Wow. Got one right back. Ooh, that. Not good. Not good. I didn't see what happened there, but it was a good shot. I'll say that. Defensive breakdown. Absolute defensive breakdown. Good shot. Come on. Oh, we get the crowd going. Oh, okay. Yeah, bad defensive breakdown. Bad defensive breakdown. Ugh, fingers bothering me tonight. Now let's put him back to sleep. Let's make this another 2-goal lead. 2-0 lead in hockey. The most dangerous lead in hockey to hold. We all know that. Shots are 34-21, so they're getting a little bit closer. Actually, no, they're not. That makes it shots 3-2 this period. Oh, good shot there by Barbashev. Maybe. They're getting physical, so now the Blues need to get physical. Oh, Neighbors, good shot. Good shot there. Oh, so they did list it as 6 power plays now, so they did change it. It was 5 earlier, and they now have it listed as 6. So, there we go. So you're at 16:03 mark. Scores 2-1 St. Louis in Winnipeg. Shots are at the moment 34-22. Both teams have 3 shots this period. Winnipeg is woken up, and St. Louis needs to play really good, strong defense right now, but also needs to find that opening to get the puck down there and get on a cycle going. Because I don't think they've had a cycle yet this game. I don't think they've cycled once. That's something I just realized. I don't think there's been a cycle this entire game. Oh, man, my hand is really bothering me. Bennington has played very, very good tonight. Tarasenko banks it down. So St. Louis can do a line change. Another good save by Bennington. Oh, took out 2 players. I think he got that one blocked. He had a wide open net. Hey guys, I'll be right back. Thanks, Danny. Sorry about that. I had to get something to try and do some itching in here. It's getting bad. But, I mean, that's good because it means it's healing and the swelling's going down. But it's bothering me, so. And I got another week before this comes off and I get a real cast, and that'll really help. Then it'll be kind of a little more open so I can get something down in there and deal with the itching. And I got to be careful because I still have stitches in, so. Don't think I have staples, but I know I got stitches. Chris Shockey, Danny Johnson, they made it 13 people liking me. Thank you so much. Got 10 people watching. I might have some decent numbers tonight. I might actually appreciate this tonight. You guys are watching longer, so that helps, and it helps and hurts, you know. But as long as we get the numbers, we get the number. We keep doing what we're doing, and we keep finding new fans like the football guy, and we'll, hopefully this show will grow sooner or later. February 11th is the next game. That is correct. First career multi-point game for Jake. Way to go, Jake. Yeah, January 11th. So almost 2 weeks off. Right? So one game in 2 weeks. I froze. Something happened. Well, have fun, Mike. Make sure you join the show and tell people about the show when you go to Enterprise. I should add a sign that said "Watch." I should have made signs when I was there, but I was too. I will do it next time. Here we go. So we're back. 12:51 to go in the third. Blues leading 2-1. Oh, high stick. I agree. Devils will be tough. Hopefully, I can watch the XFL. That's the thing I'm not completely sure about. Yep, high stick. Good call. Officials have done a decent job tonight. I know we don't like all the penalties, but they've done a decent job. Battle Dome. I like that. Horvat's going to represent the Canucks at the All-Star game. I had a feeling that was going to happen. On the 19th on ABC. So who is the powerhouse teams in the NHL? Right now it's Boston, Vegas. Man, I'm blanking out. The New Jersey Devils, Dallas Stars are the big teams. Even Winnipeg here that we're playing tonight. There's some really good teams out there. Toronto should be a power. Could make some noise in the playoffs. So if they get past the first round, watch out. Watch out. Once that team gets past the first round, Edmonton is still a dangerous team. Calgary is a dangerous team. I still think Colorado has a chance of missing the playoffs. I really do. Right? And I've been right about that most of the season. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of things. Tie game, 2-0 lead, the hardest lead in the NHL to hold. Knew it was coming. Bennington's not happy with himself. Not really. I don't think they're as much of a powerhouse as they used to be. Oh, yeah, that was bad defense. Again, bad defense. Bad defense. Bad defense. Well, this is how you snatch. Oh, my God. There you go. This is absolutely how you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Playoffs start the middle of April, football. 3-2, just like that. 3 straight goals, and the Blues are in trouble. Bennington's played freaking great tonight. Now he's down 3-2. Unfreaking real. Another Blues defenseman scores against Bennington. Shen does it. Wow. Scary, scary, scary. Nope, not being challenged. Once that puck's dropped, nothing can happen. Neighbors, instead of pushing the puck, he slows up. I don't know why they continually do that. Get the puck in deep. You know, you now you're down, so shoot the damn puck. Get the puck. Stop just throwing it down. Because all you do is give it to them. You turn it over to them. Puck goes out of play. Wow. And I love how the NHL Network always talks down about the Blues. I love it. Freaking the Winnipeg's been losing too. They're just as fragile. Man, this is itching me bad. Ah. Maybe. We don't know that yet. Let's hope that they can tie this up and take it to overtime. I'm still hopeful. Mm. Mm. Wow. Kings Hurricanes. That'll be a good game tomorrow. Tough third period right now. Prevent defense! Prevent you from winning. And that's exactly what the Blues have done. They went into a prevent defense. Yeah, it itches pretty bad, man. It itches pretty bad. So let's throw the puck down there to them so they can bring it out and we don't get nothing on it. Let's not have good zone entry. This team has had shitty zone entry all year long. All year long. Kansas City, because I'm a Missouri boy. Right? Because I'm a Missouri boy there. This team can't play a full 60. They don't know how to do it. Right? They have bad. They have not played. I don't think they've played many full 60s yet. Gonna be. I don't know. You know, you're being outshot when you're losing. Can't win that way. Look how aggressive they are, and there's no one to fight this aggressiveness. There's nobody that gets in any open areas. When they're that aggressive, the open areas have to be there. Find them. Stop lollygagging. All it does is make you a bunch of lollygaggers. You lollygag to the neutral zone. You lollygag out of the defensive zone. You lollygag into the offensive zone. You know what that makes you? A bunch of lollygaggers. Yes, the 76ers and the Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, wow. I bet they didn't know I knew that. Yes, I think that's right. Oh, Philadelphia FC and the Phillies. Okay, I was wrong. I was thinking you might trick me with the being the football, the MLS. There you go. Late May, early July, or early June is my goal right now. All depends on some things happening. Okay, I knew they made the playoffs. I wasn't sure. So okay, that's close though. Well, I mean, what a way. Ow. Hmm. Guys, I'm gonna step out for a little bit. I'll be back. Give me a few. Tarasenko had a good shot there. Sorry, my fingers are just really bothering me. I just need to take a little break. They've been most of the good part of this period. And I mean, the shots are still 6-5. No, that's not right. Yeah, 6-5. They just can't get clear. They can't get any cycle going. They can't do anything. Well, we got a minute and 36 to go. Blues take the timeout, and let's see what can happen. Let's see if they don't get dumb and pull the goaltender before the faceoff. I wouldn't. I'd have him up. No, they pulled him. You know what? When I come back on the 11th, I will not show comments from people who I do not know who you are. So if you're not going to use your own name or something where I know who you are, I'm not going to let somebody use like Lance or me or somebody else anymore. It's really getting old, and it's starting to bother me a lot. To be honest, to really be honest, it's starting to bother me a lot. Ah. And look at this. They're aggressive. They're on it. They're not. Hellebuck shoots it down the ice. Okay, Danny. Thank you. Find the open man. Look at them. Look at them how they're just covering the net. And if that's what they're doing, find the open man. Get the shot. Get that puck where you can get that shot. And end of the game. We lose again, 4-2. 4 straight goals and piss poor play in the third. Wow. Absolute wow. Oh, absolutely. This is winnable. This is a piss poor game. This is piss poor. This is, to me right now, if this isn't reason to fire Berube, I don't know what is. You lose 5 games in a row. You lose 2 games, 4-2. You were winning this game 2-0. You gave up 4 straight goals. 2-0 going in the third. Right? I don't know. 2-0 early in the third, and you're, yeah. Wow. What a piss poor performance by the Blues. Again. I'm sorry, the third period makes this a piss poor performance. Wow. I don't say sell, I say fire Berube now. 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 Defense doesn't work in this fucking league anymore. This is horse shit that we got to watch this. We got to watch this team that should have won this fucking game lose it like that because you want to play prevent defense. Fire fucking Berube now. There you go. There we go. Unreal, man. I'm done. Thank you. Thanks for the 8 likes. I appreciate that. He might be. See you next time. I will probably be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock doing a show, even though we don't play. We don't play again till the 11th, but I'll be on. Make sure you follow us and put, ring that bell so you get notifications. Nope. I don't know, Justin. Look at what's below me. Right? Look right here. Right? Yeah, Brad, right now I don't know. I mean right here. Look what's right there. Right? I mean, that's where we're at. We'll get more in the bag of pucks out of some of these UFAs. I think so. You want me to send you a link there, Shake? Or you want tomorrow? Let's do it tomorrow, Shocks. Can you do it tomorrow? Can we come in and talk about the Warrior Classic tomorrow? Yeah, it feels like it, but the thing is, you waited too long. You should have been doing this from the beginning, and now you're in a bad place. Fire Berube now! 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 Fire Berube now!
When?
Now! Fire Berube now! Fire Berube
Yeah, no,
now!
this
Fire
is
Berube now! Fire 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 Berube now!
all right. What were you saying before? Fire Berube now? Okay. You
How
know
you
what?
doing, Shags?
I'm doing great. I know you're not doing as good, but
No.
you know what? I've never seen a more atrocious situation. You literally had all the time in the world. It's your last game before the All-Star break, and that's the production you put out.
Yeah.
Yeesh. No wonder Tarasenko might throw away his no trade clause.
He might. He might.
This is I told you before that the only way he's saying no is when it comes to coaching and vibes. If this team is like not feeling a winning feeling and the coaching is not what he likes, he's not interested in going through new coaching and having the team fix up and bringing in picks and maybe even having a restart. He's not interested. He wants to win. And
that's why right now that's why I think the Rangers coach. I mean, Rangers is a good situation, but who's their coach?
Who, Gallant?
Yeah, Gallant's kind of known as a hard ass, right?
Yeah, he's a hard ass, and you have to really be like one of his guys. If you like,
so that might take the Rangers out. You look at who's
It's the Devils.
coach in,
It's the Devils. The Devils are the one leading. The
no.
league.
I don't think they don't need a guy like Tarasenko.
Well,
passing is not a problem on their team.
I can tell you right now, Shaggy, they have been in contact with the Blues. They are the second team that has talked to them the most besides the Islanders. The Devils are the team that has called Doug Armstrong the most in the last.
I think
8
they'll
months.
go to Timo Meyer before they go to Tarasenko.
I don't think they will. No.
Meyer plays both wings.
It doesn't matter. I don't think they're going to go to Timo Meyer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know, what are you going to get in return? And that's the biggest thing, because I'm holding out. I still look at Tarasenko as a superstar.
No, he's not.
Bullshit.
Guy. A superstar is Matthews. A superstar is McDavid. A superstar is McKinnon. Tarasenko is not. Is
Tarasenko better than O'Reilly?
O'Reilly's not a superstar.
Okay, is Tarasenko better than O'Reilly? Yes or no?
They're two different players. Two totally different.
You got 5 players. You had to get 5 players to get O'Reilly. So Tarasenko should be worth 5 players.
Well, they're not getting 5 players. The most that Armstrong has been offered is 3. That is the most. And the reason he didn't go to the Islanders 18 months ago is because he wanted 4. The Islanders offered
what? Okay. Guy, do you know what the definition of a superstar is?
Of what?
Do you know the definition of a superstar?
No, I don't know the absolute definition of a superstar.
Is someone that is esteemed for an exceptional talent and is eagerly sought after for what they do on a very prominent and successful person or thing, content related to the superstar. That means that people run after when they go to games, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be watching Tarasenko. People are not doing that when they go to the Blues games. Okay. They want to watch.
No, I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you. I see more Tarasenko jerseys in that arena than you do anybody else.
Jersey has to do with fans. Now it has to do with superstar. If I guarantee, let me tell you, I see there's probably more Berube jerseys than Tarasenko jerseys. Okay.
More what?
More Berube jerseys than Tarasenko.
No, you don't see more Berube jerseys than Tarasenko.
Let me put it where Guy's really trying to explain it, Lance. What he's trying to say is Tarasenko is one of the higher and better players available really at the trade deadline. We're talking about top 5 player available at trade deadline.
I will definitely agree with that. And I would say he's top 30, 40 in the league, but that's not a superstar.
No, 100%. But right. Okay.
There's how many guys in the league? Hold on. How many guys are there in the league? Well, there's 23. There's 20. You can have 23 men on a roster, right? 23 times 32 is what?
I had somebody tell me that the best player on every team is a superstar, because then he's in the top 32 players in the league. No, that's not the way it works.
No, that's not the way it works.
Right.
But
a superstar is a guy that is in the discussion for being the top player or one of the top players.
There's
in the league.
736 players in the league, and you said Tarasenko's what in the top 30?
Top 30 or 40.
What did I say? 736, right?
All right. You know what? You know what, guys?
That's the top 4% of the league.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this.
Top 4% of the league are considered superstars.
Is Kreider a very good player, or do you think the Rangers think he's a superstar? No, the Rangers don't think Kreider's a superstar.
One second. Guy, give me a player that you would say Tarasenko, a player that you might think is give me a player that which you would compare him to that's a superstar.
Marner.
Okay.
Marner's not a superstar.
Okay, you could. Okay, he considers him a superstar. Okay, let's see what he's got there.
You asked me who I would consider him to. He's a Marner type player. I consider him. He brings to the Blues what Marner brings to the. You got to look at what the guy brings to the team. It's not just. It's what the guy brings to the team. And I'm sorry, he brings leadership. He brings goal scoring. He's a passer. He's been made to be a two-way forward, which really sucks because he's better at offense. He's an instinctive player. He has more positive than negatives. And if you can give 5 players to get O'Reilly from Buffalo, who absolutely is horrible. And you had to give up your number one prospect, and a number one draft pick. You should be able to get bare minimum a team's number one prospect and a number one draft pick for Tarasenko.
Okay, number one. You compared him to Mitch Marner. Okay,
yeah.
Mitch Marner has played more games than Tarasenko. Okay, I'm not going to put.
He got injured.
And that's by the way, that puts him into that's gonna anyway. Okay, that's a discussion for a different time. Marner has.
He got injured blocking a shot. He broke his hand blocking a shot. Here's a guy that people call lazy, and he broke his hand blocking a shot.
Right. That's why I said you can't compare that. But we're talking about, let's say, Marner has 18 goals, 41 assists, a +8, but let's not discuss plus minus. And has 5 power play goals, 19 power play assists, and 31 blocks. Yes, Tarasenko has played less games. We're talking about a guy who right now is a -17. A guy who has
on a team that can't score, a team that doesn't play any defense.
Right. So here's what I would say. Tarasenko is possibly, I don't want to call him a superstar. I'm going to call him a star.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm going to call him a star. He is what we like to call a elite scorer. I think you would like that term for him. Meaning, when you play like NHL on Xbox, so you have guys that are like top goods, top 6, top 4, first line guys. Then you have elite. You have guys who are like the best of the best. He is elite. He is a player that's going to hurt you in games himself. He'll win games himself. He'll play every part of the ice himself. So I would call him a star and an elite scorer. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about right now. Okay. Where was he in the last couple minutes of this game? He was there. Okay. He had a couple plays inside, right by the goalie. He could have put it in. But if you looked at the way the other team played around him, it was terrible. Okay. Putting Tarasenko possibly on a team with already stars and putting him around already talent is going to be dangerous. And I think that the Blues know that. So his trade value, although it could be one value, is so much higher because the Blues know how good he is and potentially how even great he can be. How he could be, let's say you're saying, Lance, that he's a top 30 or 40. Then you say, well, maybe he is a top 30 or 40, but put him on a team where his line mates are Tori Lehkonen and whoever else you want to put on the Avalanche. Or he goes to, he's on a line with Mitch Marner. Or he goes to a line where there's already talent and a better coach and maybe a better system, maybe a better team around him. He could become a top 20, top 15, top 10 player. Okay, they know that. So
I'm going to ask this question. if you go to 31 general managers and say, would you rather have right now, regardless of money, regardless of contract, would you rather have right now Tarasenko or Marner? I can guarantee you almost all those GMs are going to say Marner.
Who
Because he's
plays on the
younger.
line? Who plays on
Well,
the line with Marner?
he's younger.
Who plays on the line with Marner? 1 second.
But
Who
you
plays
don't
on the line
know.
with Marner?
You don't know if Marner. You don't know if Marner, because Marner plays with superstars. You don't know that he's going to go somewhere and be that guy.
Well,
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know.
You could say the same thing about Tarasenko last year, playing around O'Reilly, Perron, and all those other good players.
Okay.
You could say the same thing.
But let me ask you a question. If your line mates are players like the Maple Leafs have in those top lines, Marner's on a line with Austin Matthews, possibly the second best player in hockey.
Yeah.
Let's take away Matthews and see how Marner does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. Right?
I think Mitch Marner away from Toronto
is a better player.
Is with the right team is a better player
with
than Tarasenko.
The right team. With the right
but
team.
Guy, your argument is, well, O'Reilly, and centers get paid more, and you pay more for a center in a trade like O'Reilly.
First of all,
wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. You don't go, well, we got O'Reilly 4 years ago and we traded 5 pieces, so we're going to trade Tarasenko. That means we got to get 5 pieces. No, that's not how it works.
Okay,
I don't care how it
works. The Blues are not going to get more than 3 pieces for Tarasenko, guaranteed.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Lance. You agree that a team who wants Tarasenko knows that he is high valued on their team? Meaning, do you agree, Lance, that if I give Tarasenko better line mates than what he has with a slouching and lazy Blues team, that you're going to tell me that he won't be an even better player than he is now?
Let me finish before I, don't jump in here.
Absolutely he will be.
I'm going to say he will be in most instances, but he misses the net a lot. And I don't see that changing with another team he goes to. You don't go to a new team and all of a sudden you start hitting the net all the time.
Not necessarily, because it's possible.
Fair point.
That let me bring out a player like that. Ryan Strome missed empty nets and missed some really bad plays with the Rangers and has really not been that way this year with the Ducks, even though that's a terrible, terrible team. So he pretty much was whatever. But players could turn it around like that. I don't think that's something that teams look at and go, oh my gosh, the guy misses the net, because of how major he is when he's, on deflections and stuff. Tarasenko as well has been in the cup. You have to include that to something.
That's why I put him in the top 30 or 40. I didn't say he was a scrub. He's a very, very good player. He is.
So,
but here's my thing. If you base that, well, we had to give up 5 for O'Reilly. So does a team that wants McDavid have to give up 20 people?
I think the most you get for Tarasenko is two great players, a prospect, and a pick. Maybe not even a first rounder.
The best offer they've gotten offers from 2 teams, and it's been 3 players. And the reason that the deal wasn't done with the Islanders 12 months to 18 months ago is that they didn't want to give up 4 players for him. They wanted to give up 3, and Armstrong said no.
Okay, would you have done the trade today of Bavilier, Ratty, and that first-round pick for Tarasenko?
Yep.
Say again?
Do you think that's the value of? Would you think that that's the value of Tarasenko?
3.
I didn't hear what you said there.
A number 1 draft pick, a high prospect, and a pretty good player coming back. Yes.
Okay, so then let me ask you: is Bo Horvat equal to Tarasenko?
I think Tarasenko's better than Horvat.
Last couple of years he's been.
Okay, so then why Bo Horvat's having a fantastic year, but to bring in a guy who has had a fantastic year and has had pretty good line mates and things like that, and that could turn into whatever situation it is. The Islanders needed to make a move for the biggest player possible, so they just did what they had to. But Bo Horvat is considered also a top 30 or 40, or would you consider Bo Horvat better than Tarasenko?
They're about the same.
Okay, I that if that's true, then that goes to my point.
I'm not trying to diss Tarasenko. My point to Guy is you can't use the logic of 4 years ago or 3 years ago, we got O'Reilly and had to give up 5 pieces. I think Tarasenko's better, so we better at least get 5 pieces. That's
Okay.
not the way it works.
Let's go back
If
and
I'm
look at
if
what.
I'm the Blues, 1 second.
Okay, first of all, hold on. Let's stop. Let me talk. Okay, you're pointing me out, so I'm going to talk. First of all, the centerpiece of that trade was a first round pick, a second round pick, and Tage Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Your number one prospect, your number one pick, and then the second pick. The other 2 pieces in that, Saboka and Bergeron, were throw-in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I understand that. What I'm trying to get at is if you're not taking their number one pick this season, their top prospect, and a good player, I mean a player to play now, then it's not a doable deal.
We also got to look at it this way. O'Reilly was 4 years younger. Tarasenko's now older. That's why O'Reilly
Doesn't matter. Goal scorers score
Yes.
goals.
Yes, they do. But I'd rather have a 27-year-old Tarasenko than a 31-year-old Tarasenko.
Goal scorers score goals.
It doesn't
I'd rather
matter,
have a 31-year-old Tarasenko than a 30-year-old Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, I would too, because of the way O'Reilly's playing. I'm saying back then, O'Reilly was worth what the Blues gave up. Because basically what Armstrong did, he said, I'll give you these 3 guys, but you're going to take the salary dump of these players. And Buffalo said, okay, we've got to do it.
I agree. They took some salary dump. But what I'm trying to get at is the quality of the piece. You had to give up your number one prospect in Tage Thompson, a number 23 or 24 overall pick. You had to give up your first round pick, which was like a 23 or 24 pick. No, actually it ended up being 31st overall pick. And then you gave up a second round pick 2 years later that they ended up trading away. Tarasenko is worth that and a little bit more. So what I want from any team is your top prospect, and I don't care who he is, except maybe a goalie. I don't want a top goalie prospect. I want your top skating prospect.
You know which team strikes my mind as a team that maybe would be interested is the Oilers.
Real quick, nobody.
He's not going to the Oilers. That's
Nobody.
The thing. Tarasenko has all the power.
Nobody has offered the Blues their top prospect.
Then you keep Tarasenko. Then you keep Tarasenko and let him walk.
And let him walk and get nothing for him.
Absolutely,
That
because
makes no
because
sense.
what if you're going to get shit? I'd rather if you're going to get shit for him.
A player and a first round pick and a second or third is shit.
1 second, Lance. What about a team? What about a team like the Hurricanes who lost Pacioretty and need to really want to bring in really one more star?
Here's the problem: he's not going there.
Why not?
He's not going because he is going to either New York or L.A. for his wife's modeling
He's not
career.
going
This
to-
is about
okay,
family
okay.
He's
and-
not going to LA. LA has not called the Blues about him.
The Kings. 1 second. The Kings are not touching him.
Nope,
Okay,
they're not.
I'm telling you, the Kings are not touching
Nope.
him. The Kings are more interested in Patrick Kane than him. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not interested in him. Okay, because they're not interested in bringing a Tarasenko guy into their team yet. That's not who they're looking for. Okay, and the Rangers don't have the money and
Nope.
don't have the and don't. They're like the closest team possible, but I don't think Tarasenko would waive his no clause to come to the Rangers. Okay,
I don't think
that wouldn't
O'Reilly
happen
had
by
term.
now.
I think we signed him that year. I think we had to sign him that year or the next year. So he only had 1 year. So he was a 1 year rental. He
No.
didn't have term.
No, he had money left on his contract. He most certainly did.
Yeah, but only 1 year.
No,
We signed him after that. We signed him after that.
I mean,
Hold on. I got cap friendly right here. I got it up. So let me double check. I'm pretty sure we signed him to a contract.
See, honestly, a guy wants Bedard, so
No, I don't want Bedard. I think Bedard's going to be a bust. I'll say it right now. I have the feeling in the world that Bedard's going to come into this league and do the same thing that Shane Wright did. It's too big for his britches and be an absolute bust.
did you see the skills competition for the juniors?
No.
He didn't do very well. He was like 7th or 10th in speed on skating and on the agility in skating. He was beaten out by like a bunch of players. What all the scouts, I talked to 2 scouts that were there, and they said what impressed everybody was his shot. They said
Okay, so
his skating needs to improve, and he's not going to have the room that he's got in juniors in the NHL to skate around like he does.
Hey, look. I know that's the way the NHL works nowadays, but there's guys out there like Ovechkin where they just stand in their spot and they could score all day on you. And look how far Ovechkin has made it that way.
Connor Bedard's not that big.
He's not an Ovechkin.
No.
not an
I understand.
Ovechkin.
I understand that, but there's guys that have. I'll tell you this much: guys who have no shot, absolutely no shot, like a guy like Zegras. I can't say he has the greatest shot out there. The guy though could put you in, could absolutely fool you in the paint, inside.
He's got good hands.
He's got good hands. I think a guy with a great shot who's really good at, let's say, getting the top shelf, getting the shoulders or whatever it is vital. Look at a guy like Zibanejad. Okay, Zibanejad's not that big. Okay, look at guys out there who could shoot. If you could shoot that way, you're gonna be fine compared to a guy who's maybe more dependent.
Okay, no, I was wrong. He signed this current contract with the
I told you.
Yeah, signed it in 16-17 and we got him in 18-19.
Yep.
So he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 years left on his contract. He had 5 years left on his contract. Okay.
See, what's interesting with the Blues situation here, and I know we keep focusing on Tarasenko here, and that is Tarasenko hasn't been the problem.
No,
Okay,
he's not.
And with him not being the problem, and everyone's throwing him out there to be the trade, I feel like that only puts it more and more into Tarasenko's head and makes it harder for him to play.
I don't think he lets that get to him.
No, not in that way, but in the wanting to be in St. Louis. Why would you want to keep being there when you're in every single trade and Bleacher Report has Tarasenko to the Rangers and throws out a nice trade out there?
I can tell you right now, he doesn't like playing for Berube.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. That's why I was telling Guy before. The only way he's leaving is because he doesn't like the coaching and the vibe of the team right now, and he's not interested in going through a remake of the team. Right?
Yeah.
He just won a cup, and ever since then, it's just everything's been dropping out. And you're having, injuries and O'Reilly slumping and Robert Thomas not being what he was last year and having like guys like Buchnevich not able to stay on the ice and being dependent on guys like Akari who just came up to the league and Neighbors who just came up and Loivu and that puts more, and the defense has not been as great as you've had in the past. Everything that they had in the past is not there. And that's just absolutely destroying what what he wants.
At the time of that trade, Tage Thompson was the player that they thought was closest to being NHL ready. They were surprised. Thomas surprised them. Thomas surprised them at camp. But when they made that trade, Tage Thompson was the one of the three that they thought was NHL ready. Kyrou and Thomas both surprised them during the season. So Tage Thompson, to me, he was that number one prospect.
By the way, the player that I mostly think that they would be willing to trade for and be trading away is number one is Grice. I think that they do not need him.
Oh yeah, Grice is gone.
Grice is going to be gone, and he's also a guy where I think teams will take a chance on him. Okay, a lot of teams will be willing to take a chance on him.
A lot of teams need backup goalie help.
May I ask you, would it be crazy if O'Reilly goes?
No, O'Reilly's going. Here's the thing. We keep talking about Tarasenko, but he has all the power.
That's right.
He has a no-trade clause that he has to approve any trade. O'Reilly does not have a no-trade clause. O'Reilly can be traded at any time. Same with Barbashev.
If I'm right now owner of the Blues, what I'm doing is I'm keeping Tarasenko. I'm trading O'Reilly. I'm trading Grice. I am firing Berube and getting someone that fits with Tarasenko.
Well, I've been told the only way Grice is going before the trade deadline is if the Blues are so far out of a playoff spot. Otherwise, they're keeping him.
I don't know. I think it's time to bring Hoffer up.
And unless somebody blows them away with something and pays way too much for him, they're going to keep him.
How many years are left on Binnington's contract?
3
or 4
3 years.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
This is the last year of his no trade.
Right.
This is the third year of his 6.
It's at this point that, as good as Binnington's been, it's a backup goalie. I don't know how much. When you have a guy like Binnington as your starter, I don't know how much, you're using your backup because the Blues need to win games. They're not sitting there and playing around and not starting their starter. I mean, it might be worth it to keep Grice, but why not a cheaper backup? It'll be better for money.
It's not
Well,
that
that's
much.
the thing, Dale.
It's not that
you're
much
saying-
cheaper. They
hold
wouldn't
on,
do
hold
it
on,
for
hold on,
cost.
guys. Dale here, you're saying guy he has to go with the money. You keep saying he has the Blues by the balls. After this season's over, the Blues will offer less money and he will test free agency. Well, that's exactly what I've been saying. He has a no-trade clause that prevents him from being traded unless he's willing to be traded to a team that he wants to be traded to. And I think that list is very, very limited.
And unlike O'Reilly, I'm telling you, guy, the two sources I have from the Blues have told me Armstrong has not talked to Tarasenko about staying at all. And the O'Reilly talks broke down after Thomas and Kyrie were signed because he was pissed. He was livid that he didn't get signed first.
Well,
we're trying to. I think Guy's always warm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very curious, if coming as an actual Rangers fan, I would love Tarasenko because I feel like a Rangers team needs to crash the net more, and he's absolutely that type. And as well, I like the fact that Tarasenko is a little older and not so young. And the Blues and Rangers have made trades in the past, as we know. And that also gives me hope because when I see a team make a trade like a Buchnevich trade, I see that they maybe even have a great connection with owners. If he gets traded, and again, Dale, I'm not saying he's getting traded.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to trade him. It really is.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to.
You're going to get back, probably, in my opinion, you will get back a guy like Kravtsov, who's very young and may not and is their second, maybe third best prospect, and a player with such high upside just mentally needs to probably get out of New York. So St. Louis, why not? You know what I mean? And maybe the Rangers are willing to part with Lafreniere or something. I don't know, but whoever you're getting, I'll tell you this much: the Rangers might be willing to give up picks because they are so young, and they're going to have to sign players, and they're already at the next point in their building where they're not waiting for now a guy to be ready. If they have a first round pick and they have a mid first round pick next year, as much value as that has, you don't want to waste your team right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a prime Zibanejad. You have a goalie playing fantastic. If a guy like Tarasenko could put you to that next spot.
Oh, I know he can.
Yeah, and you see last year, they made trades for Kopp and a bunch of small guys compared to making the big move. But maybe that was to set up this year making a better move, just in case. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to work out a trade because the Rangers have to part with someone good, because Tarasenko is an elite scorer.
Dollar in, dollar out. It's going to be dollar in, dollar out for any of the any of the teams that are in that zone. It's dollar in, dollar out.
That's right. Now, also another interesting thing. So Rangers play a very high forecheck offense, as well as a very big dump and chase offense, where they are literally dumping sometimes before that blue line and just chasing after it and trying to beat them to the puck. Is that something that maybe is not Tarasenko's?
I think Tarasenko's absolutely tired of the dump and chase.
That's the problem.
All you saw tonight was them throw that puck down there and nobody go after it. They never took the puck deep into the zone, or if they went into the zone, they stopped at the circles. And you know what? Every time they did that, Winnipeg knew it. Winnipeg stayed right there with them and formed a line and prevented anything from happening. If they'd have taken that puck deep a couple of times, they'd have gotten a cycle. They did not cycle one time tonight. Not one time.
And when they did start cycling, it was with 36 seconds left on the clock, in which they then gave away the puck afterwards. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're 6-on-5, though, so that doesn't count. They did not 5-on-5 cycle the entire game.
But Guy, how many times have we talked and said, why did you pull the goalie and didn't even start a cycle? At least they started a cycle, but the second they had a cycle.
No, actually, they pulled the goalie face off.
Correct.
They won
correct.
it. They won it, and were able to get down in there. They were lucky.
Yeah, but we talk about how you have to have a plan that when you pull the goal, you do something.
Absolutely, you do.
They started something, but they couldn't even finish it because they're just not good at that.
Yeah, well, that's all we're doing now. We're supposed to dump and chase, but all we're doing is dumping.
Yep,
right? It's like every time they get the puck out of the zone, let's do a line change. Let's
do
a line change. Let's get the puck right back to them and do a line change.
I call it the dump and stand or dump and watch as they watch the other team bring the puck back out of the zone.
I just call it a dump.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're at the 3 hour and 50 minutes since I've been on, and my hand is really starting to kill me.
Oh, okay.
So,
did you take any good stuff for it?
I'm not now. I have an addictive personality and I didn't want to stay on it. So right now, what's happening is the swelling is going down.
Mm-hmm.
So my fingers are very numb, and I'm getting, because it's healing, and I have stitches like right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's all itching me now, where the stitches are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just making my fingers really, really numb. So at this point, guys, I got to call it a night.
All right.
All right. Awesome. This was fun.
All right. I thank you guys. Thanks, Shaggy, for joining me. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, we're going to bring on Chris Shockey, who was part of the Blues Hockey Warrior Classic this weekend. The Blues Warriors took two championships, one in Delta and one in Alpha. He's going to join us. So we'll go from there. I'll do shows throughout the week. I don't know all the days I'm doing shows yet. I will be on for the skills competition on Friday and the All-Star break on Saturday. So you guys have a wonderful night. First, Shaggy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Lance, the drop to Scott. Again, I thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so guys, this is Guy the Wild Blues fan for the Blue Note Fan Report saying aloha mahalo. And what do we always tell them, boy?
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go, Blues! Let's go, Blues! Let's go, Blues!
Let's go Blues, and you got to know.
Go Blues.
Let's go, Blues!
That I'm bleeding blue with you. Aloha.